Hello there.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cantina Social Hour. Happy Friday. Can you hear me okay? How's everybody doing? Hope you are doing fantastically well on this Friday evening. What better way to spend Friday night than hanging out, talking about toys, talking about our favorite hobby, collecting, and feeding that addiction with our conversations and stuff. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Thank you for being here. Awesome. We got a good little crowd forming here right off the bat. So it is good to be back. I know we were just here on Monday talking about the HasLab as that was winding down in that final hour. Thank you to those of you who are here hanging out and having a good time with me. I see some familiar, I was going to say faces, but familiar names here in the chat. So I'm going to go through and see who is hanging out with us tonight, July 12th, 2024. Welcome. So in the house tonight, we got Dodgson hanging out. As always, Dodgson, how's it going? Andrew, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Smash like, okay, if you guys want to. Thank you. Adam's in the house. Adam, how are you doing? Good to see you. Adam is bouncing around through the cantina, making sure that nobody's hitting anybody else over the head with a bar stool. We got to keep it civil, you guys. I mean, I know we want to party and hang out and celebrate and have fun. We'll do that, but we got to do it civilly. We have Capitan. Welcome back to the Cantina. How are you doing? Good to see you. How Runner Base, how's it going? Good to see you as well. My SW guys, welcome back. Good to see you. Better Ray Bob, how is it going? Good to see you as well. We got Susan in the house. Susan, how are you doing? Happy Friday. Jesse is with us. Hey, Jesse, how is it going? Roughshod Stocks, how are you doing tonight? Trevor, good to see you. Scum, villainy in this cantina? I don't know about that. I think we have nicer folks in our cantina. Most people are nice. 99.9% of people are nice. And the 1.1% that is not, well, that's why we have Adam going around the cantina with a baseball bat. No. Let's see. We have Morgan in the house. Morgan, how is it going? Good to see you. Toys are the way. How's it going? Good to see you. Rick, how are you doing? Good to see you, Rick. William, welcome back. Good to see you as well. We got Troy in the house. Troy, what's up? What's up, Troy? Luke Malone is with us. What's up, Luke? We got Mary. Hey, Mary, how's it going? Good to see you. Alcasaurus, what's good with you? Allison, how are you doing? Thank you for being here with us tonight. Bob is with us. How's it going, Bob? Welcome to the cantina. Paul, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. TVC Mackin is with us. Yep, love it. We got Jeffrey with us. Good evening. Back to Tatooine. We're going to talk about that. That is one of our topics tonight. Thank you for bringing it up. Al Sind, I think. Happy Friday to you. Return of the Jedi. How are you doing? Good to see you in the cantina tonight. All right, my friends. So our topics, we're going to be talking about some new toy reveals, talking about some Return to Tatooine, right? That whole initiative that Hasbro unveiled recently when they unveiled the HasLab for the Cantina. We're going to talk about new releases that are happening. We're going to talk about the future of HasLab, what that should look like. And I do want to remind you guys right off the bat that we do have a show tomorrow. Okay, we got a show tomorrow. 3 streams this week. I don't know what's wrong with me, but this week I'm overdoing it for sure. So Monday we convened here for the final countdown live stream. We're counting down the final hour of the HasLab. Tonight is Cantina Social Hour. Tomorrow, Cantina Social Hour, we're going to be doing a post-mortem on this whole Back the Bar campaign with some of my good friends in the community, Tim from Bosk's Bounty, Jason, Middle-Aged Kiwi Man, and Chris Swansky from bandtheskull.com. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope you'll join us for that post-mortem when we basically say, hey, it's been a fun ride. I can't wait to do it again next time. Actually, I can't. I need a break. No more HasLab for at least another year or so, if we're lucky. Anyway, I got 3 guests in the green room waiting for me to bring them out. I'm going to bring them out. We have 1 returning champion. And we have 2 new guests that are going to be joining us. And I'll let them tell you about themselves further on their own. I don't want to speak for anybody. But yeah, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and bring in tonight's guests. Here we go.
This is where the fun begins.
All right, returning to Cantina Social Hour for the second time this year. We have the one, the only, tremendous Toys Are the Way. How's it going?
How's it going, everyone? Happy to be here.
Awesome. Thanks for coming back. I'm glad I didn't scare you off the first time. You came back, so that's good.
It was
that's
awesome.
Good. Awesome. Well, we're happy that you're here. And then returning, or not returning, for their first time, we have two other guests joining us tonight. Firstly, we got Susan Alexander in the house. Susan, how's it going?
Hey, it's good, Victoria. It's so nice to talk to you in person.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And then we have making his first appearance on Cantina Social Hour, but I've known this guy on the socials for a long time now. We got Chad Peak, also known as Peak OB1 Customs. Peak OB1, how's it going?
Victoria, hello there. Esteemed guests, hello.
Awesome to have you. Awesome to have all of you here tonight for Social Hour. So yeah, Chad and Susan, like I said, this is your first time in the Cantina. So why don't you tell us a little bit about, for the folks in here that may not follow you quite yet, and we do have links to everybody here that's on the panel in the description, so please everybody follow them on their socials and YouTubes and all that. But Susan, let's go ahead and start with you. Can you give us a little bit of background on your collecting story, your collecting journey, and you know, what it is that keeps you here alongside folks like myself that are just insane, like toy customer people?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like most of us, you know, we get started with that plastic addiction. My parents got me my first action figure when I was 9 years old, and that was right when episode 1 was coming out, and it was Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I still have that figure. And every year, me and my parents and sisters, we would go at midnight to see episode 1, 2, and 3, which sparked, you know, that obsession. And I kind of fell out of it for a little while after, like in between college, you don't have a lot of money. You don't have that adult money to spend. So I kind of fell out. And then I decided once I had a good solid job to get back into the hobby. I started with Black Series, and then I went back to the Heritage Scale RTVC. And I've kind of been like just a silent watcher for a good while. I found you, Victoria, probably back in like 2018, and I've just kind of been watching since then. And who actually got me started back into it was Joe. You might see him in the chat, Return of the Jedi. He decided to start this Zoom club group, and we've been getting together each month for over a year now and just talking about Star Wars and collecting. So it's like reinvigorated the hobby for me, and I'm throwing down lots of money, as you can see. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me. I'm happy to be here, honored.
Awesome. Well, it's great to have you. And yeah, if you're throwing down a lot of money on this stuff, then you're in the right place. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Chad. So this is your first time on Cantina Social Hour. Give us a little bit of background on your collecting journey.
Yes, indeed. My story starts way, way back in 1978. I was 3 years old. My mom's like, get in the car. We're going to your aunt's house. We're going for a barbecue. But it turned out we were going for her job placement downtown at a place called Kenner, right? So we get there and she shows me this box, right? Slides it open, and it's the early bird kit before it even came out. And I was just right there. I was like in it. I'm an action figure crazy man from that point on. When it came back out, you know, I took a little break as well. I was in art school, and then, you know, like you said last week, we had nothing but like magazines to see, you know, so I found it through like Toy Fair magazine and Wizard magazine and Tone Arts Guide and whatnot. And 95 came around and I was like, let's go. You know, ever since then, I've been just after it. Very excited by, you know, what Hasbro has done with especially the legacy scale. You know, just I love what they've been doing, and I've just been a part of the community, just sharing and growing, and of course a lot of people know me as a customizer, so that's a big part of my hobby, you know. So it's just it's an art form in a sense to give me a lot more freedom in my collecting, you know. So I do the collecting and I do the customizing. So awesome. That's my story. Yeah,
that's great. That's a great story. That's awesome. Your mom worked at Kenner.
Yeah.
So
Well, it
cool.
was my aunt, but yeah.
Or your aunt,
It's
yes.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great story. It's great to be here with all of you. Thank you for being here, hanging out with me in this cantina. Thanks to everybody who's tuning in. Cantina Social Hour, Friday night. Great to see everybody. We have some more joiners hanging out with us, it looks like. Very nice. Grant's Galaxy, how is it going? Happy Friday. Thank you for coming in. What is good, Kevin? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in this evening. Pamela, how are you doing? Great to see you too. Jeff, it's Friday. It's absolutely Friday. For sure. Awesome. Love it. Well, cool. All right, you guys. So we're going to start off with our first topic of the evening. So this has nothing to do with Star Wars, but it is, it is a sentimental toy line for me personally, because I got my very first action figure of, this back in, I don't even want to say a long time ago. There's some new Batman 4-inch scale toys on the market, which, when they tie into movies, those are kind of uncommon these days. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about that. So just this week, these actually popped up, and I found out about them through my pal Toy Shiz, who runs, the Toy Shiz Instagram account. So there's a brand new 3-pack on the Amazon market for these 3 figures, and they're all based on the live action films. So you get a Tim Burton Batman from Batman Returns. You get the Christopher Nolan Batman, the Christian Bale version, and then you also get a Ben Affleck Batman as well. And these are all 4-inch scale. And they did sell out, as you can see. They are currently out of stock at the moment, but they were up for temporarily out of stock, so you were able to order them up until sometime yesterday. But yeah, I mean, I love this scale. I know I've talked about it before. My very first action figure that I can recall was a 4-inch, actually it was like 5-inch. The Toy Biz Batman for the 1989 film. My dad bought that for me. I still have it to this day. I'm working on a video for it. And yeah, so anytime I see anything in this smaller scale that's not like McFarlane's 7-inch or, some of the weird like 6-inch stuff that you see sometimes, it gets me excited, even though it may not be the vintage collection quality per se. Anything in this scale, Batman related really excites me. So when I saw these, I was stoked. I went ahead and got in on this pre-order. So this is, so as far as Batman concerned, this is pretty exciting for me.
Those are cool. Those are really cool. I collect the 6-inch, the DC Select. I was excited when McFarlane brought back some of the other ones, like the repaints and whatnot. But these are super cool. It's great to have that nice scale, the smaller scale. These are the 4-inch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, these look really cool. Similar to you, Victoria, I had those toys growing up. So like just seeing something of that scale with the bright yellow belt just speaks to me. It just reminds me of like playing with that action figure. Just like, I don't know, just going to town with Batman toys. It was a really nice line.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And this is a pretty small line. So they've done this, and they've also done, I'm going to go ahead and pull this one up too. This was earlier this year. They put this one up for pre-order. So it's also 4-inch scale. This is the Batwing from the 89 film. For whatever reason, it comes with the Batman Returns like figure instead of the 89 figure, but whatever. It's really like rare that they do stuff for those older films in the 4-inch scale these days. So this is another one that I had to pre-order because it's just, it hits me in the nostalgia for sure. So yeah, I love that they're doing things like this, and I hope they continue this line because I'd love to see them get into the villains and all that.
Yeah, that's super cool.
That's great.
That's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fun stuff. I know these are done by Spin Master. I know they did like when last summer when The Flash was out, they did some of like the Batmobile, and they did some vehicles for Batman to use. But I just love that they're going back to those older films. And I don't know if they're going to sell this stuff in retail. I don't know if anyone on the panel or in the chat knows. But so far these seem to only be up on Amazon. And yeah, I'm excited. I say keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Yeah, it's nice to have a fan base for a specific line. I collect Muppets. And
Oh,
I'm
awesome.
always wondering, is another one going to come out? I'm hoping another one's going to come out. But this is super cool. I like the box design. It's really sharp.
Yeah, that yellow and black.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, the yellow and black. It looks great.
So that Batwing was so cool to have as a kid. So it's already like, since it looks a little better, more movie accurate, it just like, I don't know, it's tempting.
Yeah. And like I said, they're not like TVC necessarily. I mean, they are articulated, but they're not quite at the level that Hasbro would be doing in this scale. But still, to the fact that they even exist and that they're doing these, for a film that's this old. What did it turn this year? It turned to 35 years now since the original film.
Wow.
Like that's pretty cool that we're still getting stuff like this. So I'm pumped.
Honestly, it looks pretty good in terms of quality, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I definitely am excited for those. Can't wait to get them in. Alexander, thank you so much for the super chat. Toy Biz 89 Batman is only $30 mint on card on eBay. I just bought one based on this conversation. It's very cool. So we rubbed off on you. So sorry about that. But I'm glad that you're able to do that. I actually have one mint on card myself. I bought not earlier this year for a video that I'm working on. Yeah, it's definitely affordable. Some of the other ones aren't. Like if you look at the Kenner, when Kenner took over the line from Toy Biz, some of those are very expensive, like into the hundreds, depending on which figure it is. But like carded. But for the most part, a lot of these figures are pretty affordable. So it's if you're into Batman, those older vintage, now it's vintage Batman figures, then yeah, they're definitely a fun lines to collect from either Toy Biz or Kenner back in the day.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and switch gears here because do you guys know Halloween is apparently around the corner?
Ooh, excited.
Oh,
Yeah. So this popped up on Yak Face earlier in the week. So now we're getting some Black Series or more Black Series Halloween themed figures because they did a few. They did one. Was it last year that they did the Wookiee, or was it the year before that? I don't remember.
I think it was last year.
Yeah, I feel like it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're keeping this going. Now you get the Great Inquisitor as, I guess, as Dracula,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get. It just says Duros Bounty Hunter. Obviously, this is Cad Bane. And it doesn't even say like what he is. It just says Halloween edition for both of them. But I mean, he obviously looks like Frankenstein's monster. So these were kind of like, I mean, I'm not surprised that they're doing more like Halloween and holiday stuff for Black Series.
Yeah.
It's just kind of random that they just like all of a sudden like, oh, here you go. And it's July, but here's these Halloween figures.
I'll say I'm very jealous of that little Enzelin Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, that Babu freak. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
I didn't see him. Where was he at? Is he in
He's tiny.
Yeah, he's really small package.
Yeah, I get it just for that.
Yeah, the skeleton trooper looked really cool from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so tiny.
That is funny. It's like, is Babu Frick also like a Frankenstein's monster? Like I don't know.
I think so.
Maybe they took the brain out of. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. They switched the brain. So Babu Frick's brain is in Cad Bane, and Cad Bane's okay. That makes sense.
I like that. That's a good theory.
He still needs the hat. He's got to have the hat. It's iconic.
That's true.
It's weird because I don't know if the hat is in this set.
The Minoc.
Yeah, I know. That's funny.
That's
the weapons are kind of funny too. Like you get the Magna Guard, like Electra staff, and then I don't know why Dracula comes with or Grand Inquisitor comes with a stick, like a slingshot-looking stick.
Is it supposed to be like a steak?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, it's probably
marshmallows.
Yeah, I guess
that looks like it's a repurposed like Ewok accessory or something.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
There's a couple other things. Yeah. What else is in there? There's like a knife and there's like something else.
It's a very random set.
Yeah, there's a better picture here because I think I thought it was I think it was Jason actually. I need to refresh his page because I opened this yesterday. Yeah, so Jason did get them in hand. So here's a look at all 4 of the Halloween figures together. Yeah, I don't think Cad Bane has a hat, unfortunately. He should, but
Yeah, I think he should.
I have the other 2 just because I remember when they came out, I'm like, this is kind of fun, and these are far out, so I'm gonna probably have to get these other new ones.
Yeah, I have the skeleton trooper. I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, it's just fun. Yeah. So it's my understanding they did go up on order somehow, like earlier in the week, but it was like by accident or something. They weren't supposed to go up yet, and some people were able to get them. I didn't see it until it was too late. But some people did manage to get a hold of them, and I'm sure they'll be back before long.
Pretty clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even the Christmas ones, I wonder what they're going to do this year because in past years when they did them, they were just like different. They were all kind of just like existing figures that were repainted to look more like holiday themed. I wonder if they're going to keep doing more similar like that, or if they're going to kind of mix it up, go a little bit harder with that theme. I kind of feel like maybe they should lean into a little bit more edgy, but we'll see.
They usually have those sweaters, don't they? Those holiday sweaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like clever repaints. The vintage collection one with the animated Clone Wars, those were cool. I thought that was amazing. That was a kind of a clever repaint.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Absolutely. So in addition to this, there's also, we've seen our peek at the Halloween Disney droid that's going to be available at the parks and through Shop Disney, or now it's back to DisneyStore.com again. So there's like an astromech that's like a zombie. He's got like a piece of his head missing. And this one is going to be going online. I don't know exactly when. I know that they're kind of doing like spread out launches on Disney Store's website. But yeah, so I mean, I buy all of these, so I'm definitely going to pick this one up too. All of these little Disney droids they do. So.
Oh, wow. That is super cool. What's that coming out of his head, or is that just the picture?
Yeah, I think he has a bite taken out of his head or something.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It'll go well with the night troopers.
Yeah.
Right.
I like the colors. Like the colors too. It's like a mint green with like some rose gold and some, I don't know.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like candy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's very pastel. I like it. It's not a scheme that they typically do.
Right.
Yeah. Did you guys get the Frankenstein chopper? I love that one.
Yes. I actually.
So cool. Oh man, it's so cool. It even has like the little notches on the head, like the stitches or whatever.
Cute.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I like that figure a lot.
Yeah. Very
Anything
colorful.
chopper. Here for.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Sad I missed that one.
Yeah. I got lucky, I guess. A friend of mine got it for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be picking up a couple of these.
Yeah. That is cool with the broken head there.
It's kind of like you took a chunk out of it yourself.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, well, I'm glad to see they're keeping this theme going every year. Different droids that are just kind of fun, like off-brand things to have as part of the collection.
Yes, Halloween really popular at the Disney parks.
Yeah.
I've never actually been there, so I don't know, but seems to be.
Oh, it is. They sell out of their tickets for the Halloween parties like pretty quickly every year.
Wow.
Dang.
I've been to it used to be called Mickey's Halloween Party, and I used to go to that one. We're talking like 12 years ago. But then they moved it to the other park, California Adventure, within the last like 5 years or so, and that's cool and all, but it's not quite the same. So I haven't gone back to them in a long time.
Very cool.
All right, let's see what else do we got here. All right, why don't we talk some HasLab here for a little bit, because we haven't talked enough about the HasLab over the last several weeks.
Not at all.
Before I do that, I see a few new names here in the chat. So welcome if you're joining us here in the Cantina tonight. Welcome to Cantina Social Hour. Lydia, how's it going? Thank you for joining us tonight. Spacehead Studio, how are you doing? Very nice. Holinet One, how's it going? Fanboy Cantina, how's it going? And Pod Racing Palpatine, how are you doing?
Ooh, good name.
Good name, yeah. Indeed. Ashley, hello. All right, great crowd, great audience. And just a reminder, make sure you're following all these folks here, these fine folks. Links are in the description. All right, so the HasLab, right? It ended on Monday.
Yep.
It was there, as these things always go, it's very nerve-wracking that last day and those last few hours, that last hour, the last few minutes. I was on here. A lot of you folks were with me hanging out, and we were counting down the minutes, and we were waiting, and yeah, so we got to a pretty respectable number, I think, almost 15,000. And yeah, it was definitely a nail biter at the end. Didn't unlock all the tiers, but the main thing got funded that everybody that we needed, right? The actual Cantina, Wooher, the Teutonica sisters. But then we also got two of the three stretch goals, Greedo, Nabrin leads. We only missed our Leo shoes by a little bit. Very hard, very sad. But yeah.
So cool.
I guess what I wanted to ask is, how do we feel about the number that it ended up at? It was like a little bit under 15,000. Did we expect that it was going to hit that number? Do we think it was going to go higher, lower? What do we think? We'll start with you, Susan.
I was actually kind of surprised how much it booted up at the end there. I unfortunately had to go to sleep, so I couldn't stay up because I had work the next day. But it was awesome waking up to that number in the morning because it was such a surprise. It was awesome. But I'm so sad about Ariel. That was rough.
Yeah. Indeed.
It was definitely rough. Chad, what are your thoughts?
Oh my gosh, I was just so excited that it backed and we had the three characters anyway. I never thought in a million years we were going to get the Tonica sisters. I just couldn't believe it. And then we got Greedo, and then all of a sudden we got Nubrin, and I was like, whoa, let's go. And it was moving quick. I was just on pins and needles. I was on John's show, and then I jumped onto your show. And I was pacing. I was like pacing, like refresh. And I was just, I thought we got, like Stevie said, we got to a respectable level, I think, for what it was. I didn't I didn't get out of hand. I only bought one, one deluxe. So I was excited either way, that it was going the way it was going. So, we missed one character. I'll just customize one. I have two of them already, that I've made in the past.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Toys Are the Way, what did you think about this number? It ended at 14,737.
I thought it was a good number. I was happy that we got there because I was very excited for the figures. I like the Cantina as an environment. I think it's super cool, and I'm excited to set up figures in it, take photos. But you know how it is with vintage collections. Sometimes we feel a little starved for figures. So the fact that we were getting the Tonicas, awesome. Were awesome. But for me, I was like, oh, I really hope we get those tiers. And one figure that I've wanted for a long time is the updated Greedo, just because it's Greedo. We haven't had an update in a while, and I like customizing as well. So being able to get that tooling to get Rhodians out there so I could pop off their heads and make my own customs is just something I wanted. And then when I saw Nabrin, I was like, whoa, okay, I didn't really think about updating him, but I'm pretty happy to see that. So at minimum, I was like, I really hope we get that. And yeah, so I was happy. I definitely still am, a little sad we didn't get all of them, but I think it's pretty respectable. It's also kind of challenging. We just got another HasLab, victory. That asked a lot of people. We're getting figures in daily from all of our pre-orders, so it was kind of challenging, to make a healthy financial decision to how many of these should I get? Should I get this? even in the last minute, I was thinking, I was like, should I get another one? Should I get another one? And I was like, no, I should probably sit down and not be crazy. Be happy with just like the 2 I got.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's. Yeah, I definitely think this is a respectable number with the minimum being 8,000. It almost doubled that, which, is pretty cool. The stretch goals were a little frustrating for me. I mean, I'm glad we're getting a new Greedo. Don't get me wrong, but the last one they did, isn't terrible by any means. He's pretty well articulated. He's a pretty decent figure. The one that kills me though is our Leo Shoes, because that, if I go back and I look at like my like top 10 or March Madness from this year, like he was in there, like he was like one of the ones like, after the Tonica sisters, this was like the second one that I wanted like the most, or Cantina characters. And he's the only one that was a completely like a character debut for the action figure line. So that one kind of stings the most. I was, I wish he was the first year. I kind of see why he wasn't. Because they wanted to, drive up those numbers, and maybe that worked to their advantage ultimately. Right. But I'm hopeful they'll find a way to get him out at some point. But yeah, I mean, this is something like I know I've said it many times. This was a dream project. Like for me personally, as far as HasLabs are concerned, the one thing I always wanted to see after they did the barge was the Cantina, and they delivered. It looks great. It's modular. You can customize it to fit the needs of your existing shelving rather than having to buy new shelves. And it's going to come with those figures that, a lot of people gave up on and thought were never going to happen, the Tonicas. They're finally being added to our collections, if you back the bar. As well as a new Wooher who was direly in need of an update.
For real.
Not to mention the stretch goals again. Yeah. And they look great. Yeah. The figures look phenomenal. Like Wooher and the Tonicas, those have to be like visually some of the best looking figures that they've ever done in the scale. So there's a lot to celebrate here, like for sure, as far as, where it ended up, it didn't get the last tier, but, definitely a lot to be happy about that we are going to be getting as a result of this campaign.
Great.
Yeah. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see Greedo just not part of it, and maybe like a different reveal as part of the main line or something like that.
Yes,
I agree.
And maybe just another very random, sought after character.
Yeah,
I was actually kind of surprised Blue Snaggletooth or something wasn't included in this. Something that you would never get outside of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with that. I mean, Hammerhead is coming out, Momonadon's coming out as part of the main line. I don't know if he's going to be deluxe quite yet or what the situation will be, but if they could do that with him, I don't see why Greedo couldn't have just been part of the main line, and something else could have taken Greedo's spot. I think that would have been ideal. But hey, I'm content with where things are at and how they ended up and what we are getting.
If Greedo and our Leo were switched, I think nobody would, it wouldn't push on. I don't think it would have pushed on if it was the other way around.
Yeah.
But I agree. It hurts that he's, brand new, never before offered. That is like the pull of like any figure choice going forward. Like, oh my goodness, especially from the OT, right? We gotta have those OTs that we never had.
Definitely.
He was on my bracket as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Overnight from Monday to Tuesday, our Leo Schutz became the #1 most wanted figure for me in TVC, just because we were kind of denied getting him. So until they make him, that's my #1 pick now. The Tonicas are being done. Now that's my #1 pick is our Leo, and then a whole host of other characters that I'd like to see done. But I think we're in pretty good shape. I mean, this is a good, this campaign, I think, showed Hasbro that, there's people that want, these kind of figures, this kind of environment. The whole return to Tatooine, that we're going to talk about in just a little bit, like that, I think that's a big part of, what brings people back to collecting, this scale, the vintage collection. And, I think there's a good chance eventually they'll somehow, some way find a way to get our Leo Schutz into our collections.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Hope so.
And if nothing else, I'll just and if nothing else, I'll just pester them every chance I get when I see them at conventions and stuff.
Please do.
It was also cool to see them take on an environment and make that a HasLab. Typically it's been ships, which I think, the ships are very, very impressive, but I do like environments as well. And anything that doesn't have to be a project of something I won't have to build for my collection is nice. So please feel free to take care of that, Hasbro. If you can supply it, I'd prefer not to build it.
But you're so good at it, though.
I know, but there's so many projects, I'm just
not enough time.
Not enough time.
Yeah.
And it was cool to get like all these figures presented to us. So.
Well, look at him. He looks so good.
Yeah, that looks amazing. I love the modularity of it. I'm getting the deluxe, and this table behind me. I'm thinking I'm gonna bump the sail barge, and I'm gonna put the whole thing so I can like look down on it, and like, don't worry, I'll put it somewhere else. But I think I'm gonna put it there for now, and then later on I'll move it again, and have that modularity and put it on the shelf. So I think they should go that route if they do other environments, because what a great idea, to have that modularness,
Yeah, I thought that was absolutely brilliant that, you could put this together as the actual, floor plan and layout, but you could also just individually have like alcoves or even just the bar slightly set off from it and just like kind of configure it the best way that you can on a shelf, because as we all know, space is quite challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Especially when you keep getting more and more. Yeah.
This figure would have been amazing for Halloween.
Yeah, for
This is a
sure.
Halloween repaint right there.
That would have been awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think some folks in the chat, agree that it seems like our Leo will get done at some point. And to Trevor's response to that, the tooling for these figures was not created yet until the HasLab was done. Those are 3D prints that were created, like actual physical 3D prints that were hand painted. So they had to unlock for them to be put into like physical like tooling. It's definitely it was definitely a cool thing. I'm just really over the moon that I'm finally somebody sent me a video earlier in the week, and I meant to. I'll probably do something with it, but I was asking them in 2019, like at Comic-Con, I think it was like so when is the Cantina coming? And I bothered them long about the Cantina, and I know it got done not because of me, but it's really cool that we're finally getting something like this. I'm pumped. I'm stoked.
Oh yeah.
And there was a lot of things I think that were interesting about this campaign that we learned, and I think Hasbro learned about in terms of the demand for stuff like this, but also the way the campaign itself was run. It was abbreviated at I think 30 days compared to the usual 45, and then and the numbers weren't adjusted. It had the same like numbers for each tier as the Ghost did, even though that had the 45 days. So I think they were able to take away a lot of logistical data from how this played out over with the smaller campaign.
You think they'll do that again? You think they'll go shorter windows, or do you think they'll go back to kind of the longer format?
Yeah, that's
was this
tough.
Just kind of a fluke, or why did they do it?
I mean, the whole thing was kind of strange, right? Because initially it was announced back in March that this was going to happen, like that there was going to be a HasLab for TVC announced on May the 4th. Then we get to the Monday of that week, and they said, actually, no, it's going to be delayed, right? So then it was June 7th that the whole thing, was published. So I don't know if it was as a result of it getting delayed. I'm pretty sure they didn't want to interfere with Comic-Con and the G.I. Joe HasLab. But I don't know if it was purposefully like abbreviated to the shorter time frame, or it was just a result of being delayed that happened. I'm kind of inclined to think it was probably just because it got delayed. So I would expect it's going to go back to 45 days after this.
I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
a little bit more time.
I think the longer the better, just because as much as you can try to urge people to save or prepare for it, you need as much time as possible because not everyone can save prior to it. Just more days is better.
I agree.
Yeah. And I always want to encourage people to, if Hasbro tells you months in advance there's going to be a HasLab, that's your cue to start putting a little budget together so you can save up for it. Because if it's coming, it's going to be expensive. If it says HasLab on it, it's going to be hundreds of dollars. We already know that. So next time they say there's a HasLab coming, like, oh, okay, now I'm going to squirrel away a little bit of money so that that's ready to go for when the time comes. But we know also now that there will probably be another HasLab, right? So it wouldn't hurt to start doing that now. Put away $5 a month, $10 a month, and by the time it rolls around in a year or whenever it is, it'll be there, just waiting.
I hope they give us a little bit of a break. My pocketbook needs a little.
I kind of agree. Just a little break, though, would be nice.
You don't think they would announce another one this year, do you?
Lord, I hope
not.
I
don't think so. No.
I mean, it'd be cool, but no.
Yeah, I feel like the next one's going to be Black Series. I think they're going to try it again. I have no insight on that. I just feel like I have a hunch that the next one's going to be Black Series, but we'll see.
Give it another shot.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be something as expensive and as big as the Rancor. I think it'll be maybe something a little smaller, but I don't know.
Not the lightsaber either, too.
Yeah. It won't be a double-bladed lightsaber, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be something, people genuinely ask for, not to say people wouldn't want a lightsaber or a Rancor, but, maybe it would be better to do something that, they want, I would say. With OT, with not OT, but with the vintage collection, I know for me, it's kind of a short list, I feel like it's this, and this, and nothing else. I don't think they can just put it out there. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I know one thing. If they would have made that Rancor like in TVC scale, fully articulated and stuff, I kind of would have been pretty interested because it looked really cool and I like how articulated it was. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I would have backed it.
Yeah, I felt like their tiers were weird. I think that
was a weird one.
It should have just been the Rancor Keeper, and boom, everybody would have liked it. Rancor Keeper came with it, and that was it. And
Ula?
Or maybe there was one tier, and it was Ula. Yeah, I know. Ula, no Mula, right?
No Ula. Yeah, that was that hashtag going around.
Yeah.
I think that would have funded if it had been structured like that. But the whole thing, it was accidentally revealed ahead of time, and then they were kind of improvising and changing the rules as they went, and just the whole thing just was a poorly run campaign. So hopefully the next one, whatever it is, isn't like that. Yeah, I need a break too, though. Like this, we just had the Ghost, and we don't have it in hand yet. That was last year, and now the Cantina, and I ordered 3 of these for myself.
That's awesome.
And then I have one coming for Angela, thanks to everybody's donations that were sent. So I'm going to be receiving 4. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that mail day. I just hope my husband isn't home when they arrive. But yeah, a break would be nice. And it's funny because there are a lot of things hitting right now too. The HasLab just wrapped up, but also the Night Trooper 4-packs are shipping for TVC, and there's the latest Black Series wave is processing. The new wave of Vintage Collection with Leia and Vader is shipping.
Yep. Ton of pre-orders coming in.
Yeah.
I was like, where's all the money going? Oh my God.
Yeah.
They took What? Go ahead.
No, it sounds like the Vintage Collection Jabba too is going to start processing pretty soon. So
yeah,
we've been waiting for that forever, man. That needs to happen, like yesterday.
Elbow 88.
Yeah, this campaign was a little challenging because a lot of stuff was kind of filtering a little early too. Because I was part of the group who got the Kanan wave from Entertainment Earth early.
Oh, cool.
So that charged for me, and then the A New Hope wave also charged. Now the Night Trooper, like everything was kind of coming early. I think the only only things I have left are I think one of the most recent waves with the Acolyte figures. I think that's one
Hmm.
So like it was definitely a giant dump per usual right when a HasLab was happening.
Yeah,
Right.
that's rough.
Yeah, I got a little edgy. I was like, woo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was,
Protect the wallet, but it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah,
You know.
and it's what happened last year too. Remember, like they had a lot of stuff hitting at that time that the Ghost HasLab was closing, and I think they even delayed some stuff because there was like the Jabba's the Skiff Guards 4-pack, right? That was
Mhm.
that they pushed a little bit, I guess out of respect for the Ghost. But there were other things at that time that were processing. You know, I think there was like the retro collection, like Return of the Jedi, and some other stuff that was all like hitting at that time. So yeah, it's just weird the way the whole thing works out. But I mean, that's one thing I do hope they figure out is how to kind of space things out, especially when there's a HasLab because those are so expensive. Just kind of hold everything, you know. I mean, just time it so that you know it's either going to hit, you know, a month or two before, or a month or two after. Just like because when it comes all at once, it's like, ouch.
even worse if you're like somebody who army builds and you have several sets of night troopers coming in, or just even a couple cases with a stormtrooper. You're just like, oof.
Yeah.
It'll be a rough month.
Yeah.
It hurts, but it's good.
Yeah.
I got a lot of those this week, you know, but I guess we'll talk about that at pickups. Yeah. Pickups.
Yes, we will. Yeah, but I just gotta, you know, once again, like just I'm scrolling through the pictures here.
Are you going to put the sticker sheet on the Cantina? Are you going to use that? Or do you feel that people are going to utilize the sticker sheet, or is it just going to sit in the box?
I feel like a lot of people let it sit in the box.
Oh man,
I don't know. It's hard
I
to
know
say.
you're going to use it, aren't you?
I was thinking of something a little interesting where I was like, I wonder if I could scan it and then make my own print file and then make something that was like more of a like a decal that can go on but like peel off easy without like, you know, being my set, but also damaging the original HasLab sheet.
Yeah, are they like a sticker, like a good solid sticker? Do you know?
Hard to say.
That's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, it's probably I would think it's individual stickers. Like I'm trying to thinking of like the way they did the ones for the Sky Striker. I'm thinking it's going to be like a big thing with a bunch of little stickers on it.
That's what it kind of looks like.
Did you apply any of those stickers, Victoria?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
only the ones to make it look accurate to like the real life version of that jet. But no, I mean, only I tried to make it accurate to real life using the stickers that were in there, but I didn't use all the stickers. Like if there was something in there that was just like a random sticker, I didn't put it on there.
Cool. Yeah, these are super cool. I'm tempted to put them on, but I just don't know where I would put them.
Yeah,
to
that's
make them look cool.
Yeah.
You
You gotta like make sure it's the right place, otherwise you're like,
I don't like it. Rip it off. Yeah.
It's ruined.
Yeah, and then you ruin it. Yeah, I can't go down that road. It would drive me crazy.
I'll probably just frame it.
Yeah.
They look neat. They really do look neat. But yeah, I mean, I like some of the pictures. It's like Pondit Baba and Woo Her and the Tonikas in there, and some of them are like wanted. It's like, well, I mean, are they going to go into a place where they're wanted? Like, so I don't know. Like, I'm probably not going to use them, but maybe I'll find a use for them like somewhere else in my displays or something. But I see a funny comment from Adam here asking, can we break even by selling our stickers?
Possible.
That would be funny. I like that Ben Quadraneros one in there.
That's random. Yeah.
I bet we're going to see a lot of cantinas online, you know, on the secondary market for sure.
Oh, heck
without the figures.
Yeah, and piece by piece, you know, like just little pieces, one alcove here and there, a table, a bunch of cups, a handful of cups, you know.
One cup at a time.
Yeah, I can do without these cups, you know.
Yeah, it's like anybody who's willing to triple up their cups, I got you covered.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the cups.
Yeah,
I really hope
stickers look good. They do.
I hope they have a dishwasher in that cantina because that's a lot of cups.
Oh man, I hope.
Please spit.
Those
sad poor droid in the back just washing one by one.
Yeah, well, I know this cantina is based on the movie set, right? Like that they built in like the one, even like the parts of the set that were built on the soundstage and like later in Los Angeles. But if you look at like the visual guides, like it shows like the different spaces in the cantina, right? And it wasn't just what you see in the movie. There's like, I think in the back there's like an office for Chalman to use, and there's like a wine storage area or something, and there's like another office. So I mean, I guess if you wanted to continue use what Hasbro is making, but also expand on it, that part would be kind of cool too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see what the chat is saying, because I see a lot of a lot of comments about this. How's it going, Lorena? Good to see you. I would use them on other things. They do have panels, which maybe I would use those. Yeah, and I think if you did back extra cantinas, or you have extra like pieces, you're not going to put the whole thing on the shelf. Maybe some of those other ones could accommodate some of these stickers. That might be an option. How Runner Base says, my cantina will be filled with loth cats. It'll be a cat-tina. Okay.
That's
I like that.
Hey,
I like that.
no judgment here. Bob, I'll be selling my extra cantina as long as I make back 400 on it. I'm good. Trevor wants to make some custom spilled cups. That would be interesting.
Ooh,
That
I
would
like
be
that
cool.
idea.
that's a good idea.
99 cups on the wall. Yeah.
Cheers.
Feels that way.
Yeah.
Alcind, how's it going? They should give us a bonus dish rack to store all those extra cups. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because the cantina is coming with an extra musical instrument for the modal nodes. Like, what if that was just one of the pack-ins, was like a little dishwasher you could like hide in some corner of the cantina? That'd be interesting. As long as they're doing a good job washing. I don't want like some furry like alien washing like glasses in the back of the cantina and like leaving fur in them or something.
Oh,
Jawa.
It's a Jawa the whole time.
furry.
Jawa.
Furry, real furry.
Yeah, that would be gross.
Yeah, Battery Bob says, in the Star Wars Galaxies game, the cantina had back rooms and lower levels. Yeah, that too. There's other Star Wars media that shows that there's other areas of it too. Charlie is asking, I wonder if they're going to re-release Dr. Evazan. I think they should. I think that's I could see them doing that, maybe like in a 4-pack or something. I could see them wanting to get him back out there, because they're going to need to support this with more figures for sure.
Definitely.
I need him. I missed out on him back in the day.
Do you want him just for you want the one that you didn't get, or would you like an updated one?
Oh, probably an updated one, I would imagine.
I agree.
No.
I feel like they could shrink down those files, the digital files that they use for the Black Series.
Totally.
I bet those two, both Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan, would be super popular in 3.75.
I even would be fine with them using like some good tooling from like possibly the new Han Solo. It's just like boots and pants, for that lower legs, and just give us something modern down there, and just
Yeah. I just think this going forward, they're already pretty expensive. We should really get like some updates. But the Evazan's really cool. He's up there.
Yeah, I like that.
I love him. He's got that like a nice airbrush, for hair on his chest and everything. It's really sweet.
The hair on the chest.
Yeah.
Just like one of her.
Yep. Very 70s.
Yeah, both of those could use updates, especially Ponda Baba, I think, because the like when you look at the Black Series one, it really brings it, like, makes it obvious how small the head is on the TVC one.
Yep.
Spacehead Studio, how much do you think those carded figures will sell for? I think they will sell for 150 a piece. I think more. I think especially as you get farther away from this project, they're going to become more and more scarce. So I think eventually they're probably going to. I would say if you were to sell them, you probably could cover the full cost of the place of the cantina at some point.
Yeah, I mean the Crest figures alone were pretty expensive on the secondary market, and this is like like Tonicas or something that's pretty sought after from a lot of card collectors and stuff.
Definitely.
there were so many of the Razor Crest ones. The price has come down, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not
think.
sure. I haven't looked in a while.
Yeah. I think they've all kind of, I mean, the barge kind of started dropping a little bit, but then I think it started going back up, like after the Cantina for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I still remember seeing the barges like at Comic-Con like shortly after it came out for like $3,000, and I was like, oof.
Whoa, that's expensive.
Oh my.
Yeah, I think they had it for like 1,200 at Celebration 2019, and I thought that was cheap, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All things considered, that's not terrible if you missed it the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when you think about how expensive that is to ship, because that was a huge box.
Oh man. Yeah,
Big.
we were talking about taxes in one of my groups the other day. You know, I think it was like $47 just for the tax on the Cantina. You know, in my state, I think it's 7%. You know, $47. It's outrageous.
What state is that?
Wisconsin. I live in Wisconsin.
Ah.
That sounds about what I paid in tax too.
Yeah.
I think actually mine was like probably like 8%, but
Wow.
used to it, I guess. It is what it is, right? What can you
San
do?
Diego, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I was glad to have the membership, the Pulse membership, because I did not have it when I got the Ghost, and it cost me. It cost me.
Yeah, it is. It's very much worth for. I mean, at least for stuff like the HasLab, it's very much worth having that Hasbro Pulse, because it does include the shipping for stuff like this. I don't know if they're going to raise the price limit, but it was like $50 for Pulse for a whole year, and it's not. I mean, I find I do order like cases when it comes to TVC. I do order full cases usually from Entertainment Earth most of the time, but oftentimes it'll be an uneven like case pack ratio, right? Like you might get like 2 of one figure, and there'll be figures in there's only singles, and it's like, okay, well, do I want to buy another case and end up with 4 of some of these figures, or do I want to just go buy singles from Hasbro Pulse? And I'll do that a lot of the time, and the free shipping is nice.
Yeah, I'll say that they do a really nice job of packing figures, and their card quality is actually pretty good, because I bought some of those like Power Day sale stuff. And I was like, didn't really care how the card was going to come. And when it showed up, I was like, wow, these are immaculate. So
you're lucky.
Yeah, I've actually been using Pulse when I can't get something decent out of my Entertainment Earth cases, and they have that terrible ghosting. So it's kind of good if you're like desperate to find like a really nice card, so you can at least try it with Pulse, and the shipping's free. So like a single figure, which is nice.
Definitely.
Yeah, my cards were perfect with Darth Vader and the Stormtroopers and Luke X-Wing. I got those this week, and they were perfect. There's no ghosting, no nothing. It was perfect.
Yeah, my Entertainment Earth case was not so nice.
Ah, jeez.
My singles that I got from like Amazon and GameStop were better. They weren't perfect, but I was like,
dang.
I know, I lucked out somehow.
Amazon, it's a hit and miss. You just never know.
Totally a hit and miss. Yeah. Sometimes they're perfect, other times they're not. They have that new box. If they send you one, they have that new box that protects it. I just got Ezra Bridger, and he's perfect too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Because before they just shove it in there.
Yep.
Yeah, that wasn't too fun.
No.
Hey Rudy, how's it going? Adam says dishwashing is the only job that they would allow a droid to do.
I was thinking about that, because I mentioned a droid, and I was like, they don't let droids in there, but maybe they would let one be a dishwasher.
Yeah, Fanboy Cantina makes a good point though. Wilhurst Z washing. I think there is a shot where, I think it's the one where like OB1 and Ponda Baba are starting to like have some work, and Dr. Evazan, are starting to have some words, and if you look at like, it looks like maybe he's like drying some like a cup or something.
Yeah, with a rag or something.
Yeah.
That's what this spit. That's all he needs.
Oh man.
Oh no.
They're like, I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah, I brought my own cup today.
Out of your 100 cups.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uncle Scorch, how's it going?
Yeah.
Spacehead Studio. Hope we get a Jawa 4-pack with droid parts.
Ooh,
That would be
that'd be
cool.
cool.
I'd be here.
Love
for that
Jawas.
too.
Original price with Grogu and Jawa figures. Yeah, those two. Those were selling for. I mean, I think those came down too.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still, they're still kind of pricey. I think even now.
Yeah.
But those weren't as exciting though as like Nabrin Leeds and Tonica Sisters. Those are.
Oh yeah.
Because the other ones were available in the main line. There was different versions of those characters. So this is these are more exciting.
Yeah, I haven't opened any of my previous HasLab carded figures. I just can't bring myself to do it. But I'm conflicted with these figures. I gotta open them up.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I have to open that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with previous ones, I've always gone to eBay and bought like extra ones so I can have like one open, one carded. And I'm gonna have to do the same with the Ghost, unless anybody happens to have some extra Ghost figures they want to sell, but I doubt it. So I'll probably have to go to eBay for those. But luckily with the Cantinas, I was like, no, I gotta make sure I have my spares.
Yeah, they played on that theme with the Ghost. That mural. And I'm like, oh man, I cannot open these things.
Beautiful.
But
beautiful
I was
artwork.
just shocked that they did the season 4 looks for those. I was blown away.
I was hyped. Those are the ones I wanted.
Right.
I want that lost cat, but I only got one Ghost, so I'm not going to be opening Ezra, that white one.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I'm hoping they do like they did the holiday special Chewbacca last year. And then they did Hondo Onaka. Like he wasn't available, I don't think, at the parks, but they made him in the main line for TVC. I hope they do something like that, like for a different character, maybe, because there are Lothcats like in at Galaxy's Edge. Maybe they can include some of those like in there somehow, like with a figure or something.
Yeah.
Or you can just hit me up and I can send some your way.
Ooh. Oh,
I make a bunch of them, so
actually have one of yours here.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
I need to hit you up, Chad.
Yeah, definitely message me. I'll
I
send you some.
will.
The meaning to
Love it.
I love the Lothcats. I thought that was such a brilliant idea. When we first saw the Lothcat in Mandalorian, I was just like, whoa, because because when you customize and you make stuff, you're shocked when you see something that you're so passionate about come to life.
For sure.
And I'm sure it's the same at Disney parks or whatever. When you see that sleeping Lothcat and how amazing it probably looks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love them to give us like a creature pack, because didn't they do one for the Black Series? I think that had like the Minox and stuff in it. It'd be cool to get one.
And then the monkey lizards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gee.
I wish they would do that for us.
Yeah.
I'd buy a bunch.
Yeah, for sure. I'd buy a bunch too.
Totally.
Easy thing to add to a bunch of displays.
But I'll be hitting up Chad now.
Yeah, you should. You should. Anytime. Yeah.
Love it.
Let's see, how Runner Base. They're raising the price for Pulse. They never have anything in stock. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a tricky thing too. Like sometimes they do. It's kind of the kind of thing where you got to get it early, like with Pulse, because they don't. Sometimes they restock and they have a whole back in stock like section. But yeah, sometimes they sell out, so you kind of got to get it early if you're gonna go through Pulse. Rudy says the last barge auction I saw ended up going for $3,500. Nuts.
That's steep. That's steep. Man.
That's wild.
Yeah, I try to at least get one of everything. You'll be sorry. I hope there's not a ton of people that have FOMO.
Yeah.
Find out.
Yeah.
Bob says that his case of the Leia Wave had the Ring of Death all in the card backs. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that. Like I got 2 cases of them. They were perfect. I didn't have a single instance of that darn ring. But I have heard from a few folks that theirs did have it. So
yeah, mine had it, and you can even see the ink or whatever from the card on the opposite bubble, like smudged on there. So
it's a bummer.
Not great.
Is it they're just packed in so tight together that it just
Something
I feel
like that.
it must be a combination of that, and then the ink is just not dry on the card either, plus the thicker card back. I don't know. I really would like them to get to the bottom of that.
it's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never been this bad as it has been for this wave.
Mm-hmm.
Luke says, by 2025 in the fall, I'll be so much older, hopefully still alive by then in such a long 15 months wait. But my vision is still good. Luke, I don't know how old you are, but I certainly hope that in 15 months you are still here as well.
25.
Do you think that HasLab can prevent the bubble ghosting issue? I mean, I don't know, honestly. I mean, I know everybody has their ideas about how to prevent it. I've heard some people say, you know, they can put like a piece of like wax paper in between each figure or tissue paper. Some have said they can make the boxes a little bit bigger, but then you have the issues that just causes them to bounce around, which isn't good either. So, I mean, I really don't know what the solution is. I think once they started upping the width of the cardstock, making it a little bit thicker, I think that's kind of when we started to see this happening, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe there's like a small like change in tolerance they can make for those boxes but I mean, ultimately, I don't know. That's totally a HasLab thing. Like they need to figure that out.
Yeah, it's rough because the whole reason we wanted a thicker card back is because they were too frail before, and you'd have like, you know, a bend or some kind of veining. But now we have this terrible ring, so it's one step forward, two steps back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trevor says, I think somebody in the community will do you a solid. Oh, hopefully. Yeah, if you have extra ghost figures, I ain't gonna say no. I will pay you a fair price for those. Do you think we will get season 1, 2 looks at the rest of the ghost crew? I'm worried has already moved on.
Hope so.
I think it's looking good. Jason just somebody was posting about Jason's yak base. Sorry. He had a list, and I think Ezra season 1 was on there.
Oh, cool.
So,
yeah, that'd be really cool to get him. And then, of course, Hera.
Yeah, we need those. Oh, man, we need those.
Sabine as well.
Yeah, we need all of her looks. You know, we're getting the, I guess, the season 3 look, right? Or and that looks gorgeous. Man, that looks great. That 2-pack.
The 2-pack with Chopper?
Yep.
Oh, I'm pumped for that. I think I bought like 5.
Did you really? I got 1. I should have got more. Yeah, I only got 1. I should have got more. I love Rebels. I think Rebels is just such a cool show, or whatever. But those tampos were just superb. You know, chef's kiss, right?
I think my other biggest wish from like anything season 1 or the earlier seasons is Agent Callus.
100%. That was on my top 25.
Yeah,
it's with his awesome sideburns.
What's that?
His awesome sideburns.
Yes, sideburns. Also, just like not too far fetched. Just retool it from, you know, Thrawn with the tighter pants and just do an upper body with the armor.
Yeah, we need it. We need him with either a swappable helmet or you know, we definitely need him to have the helmet off and the helmet on.
Yeah, it's like pasta strainer helmet.
Yeah. Oh man, such a cool character. You know, he's so cool. Yeah, so cool. He's on my top 25. Yeah.
But also, you know, Zeb's got to go up against somebody.
Yeah.
I really want to see Callus in Ahsoka season 2. I want to see him in live action.
Yes, I love his like rebel look towards the end. You know, when he switches over. I think that'd be a cool character to see in live action for sure.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the return to Tatooine.
Yeah.
So, Return to Tatooine. This is the brand new initiative that Hasbro announced when they announced the HasLab Cantina. That is going to be part of their focus, as you know, we in the lead up to the Cantina actually making its way to our collections in fall 2025. So far, it's looking pretty good. They've pipelined some critical figures, like, you know, make the mains, like Luke Skywalker, Ben Kenobi, Han Solo, which are all 100% brand new told figures. Chewbacca, which is a partially newly told figure. and then Hammerhead, like a brand new Momonadon figure finally after all this time. So off to a good start. You know, that the HasLab is part of this, but then there is going to be more of this to come. That's going to be announced, a pipeline. Maybe we'll see something at Comic-Con, who knows, over the next year. So in this segment here, I want to talk about Return to Tatooine and talk about things that we would like to see that would help supplement this whole initiative that they're working on, that could support the Cantina, that could support the Tatooine aspect of our collections. So we're going to think about figures, we're going to think about vehicles, we're going to think about creatures, anything that can really help to world build, which, you know, is the whole point of TVC, is the world building. The Tatooine focus for in our collection. So I guess let's start off with some figures. Like, what do we feel like needs to be either redone or done for the first time that would tie into this theme and help to build out this world of, you know, Mos Eisley, the Cantina, and even beyond that, if we expand beyond, you know, A New Hope. Anyone want to share first?
Sand Trooper, 100%. Must.
Yeah.
Didn't they tease us a little bit with that video, that
They did.
run through? Weren't
Yes.
those sand troopers?
It was, I think, the remnant stormtrooper from the
Yeah.
Mandalorian with the pauldron and just kind
Okay.
of turned backwards. So you
Yeah,
can
I was like, they're
Good
being
catch.
sneaky.
Yeah.
They're being sneaky right there. I was like, that's a sand trooper, and they're teasing it, you know.
It was smart. It also just shows, you know, they're thinking about that character, and just, you know,
hmm
it's a good one.
There's a need
Yeah.
for it.
I would love to see a Sand Trooper and a Dewback. I think those would be great.
Oh,
Oh, man, that would be great.
Also, the Dewback just like crosses multiple medias, so that's anything that, like, you know, you can get multi-use out of. Whether you want to, like, for some reason put the Mandalorian on it or have your Sand Troopers on it, just it's a
Mhm.
good one to have out there.
For me, gosh, I have such a big list. If we're talking just figures alone, like I said, I would Shrinky Dink, Dr. Avazan, and Ponda Baba, and just give us a brand new look for them, and people would just be over the moon.
Yeah.
Do some new ones. You know, I've been begging for Banis, hashtag begging for Banis, since like, oh my gosh, since 2009. I think I've been begging for Banis Keeg, and that is the
Yeah, which one
that's
is
the
that?
that's the Duros, not in the
Oh.
spacesuit. That's the one that's in the kind of the Luke Skywalker robe. You know,
hmm
oh man, and she is also called Chi-Chi Demal. You know, she's got like several names. She's like an alias or something. They're spies, and they have this whole story. But I mean, we got that 4-pack, right? You know, of the pilots, and we have that
Mhm.
Duros head in there. So
Yep.
let's use that. Let's utilize these parts, and I think they're doing that. You know, not to go away from the figures, but you know, we got the Jerba head from the Jabba's palace. You know, the trophy room, right? Make a
Mhm.
Jerba. Give us a Jerba, that beast of burden or whatever, outside, and give it some cool like little boxes on the side, and
Oh,
make it
yeah.
all cool and everything. But my other big one that was on my top 25 was the Lutrillian, the Othello or Athlo or whatever his name is. But we got to have the gerbil guy,
The
the
terrible dude.
Lutrillian. But those are some of my ideas, other than the main characters. And of course, if they did a Boshek, you know, we would get
Ah,
Cantina Dude. You know, we would get a new Bosk for Tim over there across the
Yes.
pond.
mhm.
You know, they could utilize all of those different things to make several different characters. So those are
Yeah.
some ideas right there.
I really want that, like, space tool or space suit tooling, just
Yes.
for random
Ooh, yeah.
characters.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
we need that. You know, random
Especially-
characters like that. People have been making that for so long. You know,
Mhm.
but I think
Yeah, I
those
think-
are some great ones for me.
I think Boshek is a smart one. Just like
Yeah.
to get that tooling out there for a new Bosk, and just anything you can do with that. Because even if
Right.
they don't make, say, the Spaceman, we could, you know,
Ah,
buy those figures and do a little kit bashing ourselves.
I
mhm.
think people would go after it. I really do.
Totally.
Oh yeah. And there's, like you said, there's so much media that crosses over, like the
Mhm.
Book of Boba Fett, and then you have Mandalorian.
Mhm.
Even
Yeah.
some of the deleted scenes from Tatooine, which are really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like with Cammy and that other guy's name, they were in Book of Boba Fett.
Mhm.
I'd love a Tashi Station playset.
Oh man,
that would be
so
cool.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'd look for that.
Yeah, we're all like Anakin, aren't we? I want more.
But I know I shouldn't.
I know I shouldn't. I want more.
That's my favorite GIF.
Oh man,
I want more. And I know I shouldn't.
yes, totally. That epitomizes Star Wars like fans,
Yeah, Star Wars collecting 100%.
right?
Yes.
You know, it's never enough. It's never enough. You can go right into the Mandalorian. You know, give us Dr. Mandible. Give us even Toro Calican. I would take that. You know, I would take him.
Me too.
And Pelly, of course. We need a Pelly.
Oh God, need Pelly with
We
her
need a
tooth
Pelly.
missing.
But she's got to come with the droids. She's got to come with
Yes.
the BD-1. She's
Pit
got to
droids.
come with the BD-1. She's got to come with a pit droid. You know.
And a removable tooth.
Yes, 100%. Swappable head with a removable tooth. Yes.
I need that so bad.
Yes, that would be a hit.
Here for
That
it.
would be a hit.
Yeah, I think that character, once we got the N1, was 100% necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't made her yet, because I feel like there's a lot of people who do want her,
I
Yeah.
know. And she was in the Cantina.
and she's so
Right.
funny.
Very nice.
Yeah, she is funny.
Amy Sedaris, yeah.
One of the things I really want, real quick, this is kind of a dream, you know, since I only got one of the Cantina, you know, I'm conflicted to not open up my figures. It would be great if Hasbro gave us that box within a box 2-pack of the Tonikas, but only give us them with the coin, you know, the Power of the Force, right?
Oh.
And people would buy 2 of them instantly because they would want one open and one sealed, right? And then I wouldn't have to open my you know, double racetrack cards, you know, yet
Yeah.
I would still have them open, and I would have a coin, and then I would have 2 different cards. I would have a Power of the Force, and I would have a double racetrack, you know. So there you go, Hasbro. That's a freebie.
Free money.
It is. I think people would jump at that.
Hell yeah.
But
Mhm.
anyway,
That's a good idea.
yeah.
Yeah, for figures, like anything Cantina, like honestly, I'll be most happy with, especially anything that's like brand new, never before, ever done. There's some characters like Arliel Shus, obviously, like that's my number one now, but there's also like Zizvit, like the fly kind of dude, and Renat. You know, I think there's 2 of those Renat creatures in there. Like the little rat with like the jaw cape hood thing. But I mean, there's a bunch of them in there, Cantina dude, and anything that's like brand new, never been done. I'd love to see that first, but I mean, there's several they need to go back and redo also, like some of the Power of the Force 2 ones, like Labria and like Muftak and some of those guys. But beyond the Cantina, I mean, there's definitely, you know, I always think of, well, what's kind of iconic outside the Cantina on Tatooine, and when was the last time they did Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru? You know, it wasn't the Power of the Force 2 days, like so.
Yeah.
Those need to be. They're important. I mean, I wouldn't classify them as like a Luke Skywalker or Han Solo kind of thing, but they're like very secondary. I mean, and especially in relation to Luke's life, right? So I think they need somehow they need to get those like remade. Not to mention, you could also do younger versions of them from some of the other films, and they did them for Attack of the Clones a while back, but also, Peli Motto, I agree. Definitely a very essential one at this point. I think when you think of The Mandalorian, all the things they've done for it, like there's only a few that they haven't done that are like pretty critical, and I think that's probably the most critical one at this point, I would say. You know, Peli Motto,
Pike Syndicate.
those would be interesting.
Those would be cool.
Yeah, Pike soldiers. And then gosh, I'd love to have a Garza Whip. I don't think they'll ever make that, but
I would love her.
That would be fun.
My other 2 assistants were awesome too. The Twi'leks, the other Twi'leks, the male and the female. They were really cool.
And Max Rebo was in that place. I think it was the
was
Sanctuary.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that band was cool. And then they also had the droid with the drums attached to it.
I'm really sad
That was
Disney never
neat.
gave us that set, or like any kind of Book of Boba Fett set for those droids. That was easy.
Yes, this would be
Mhm.
so cool.
That would be a lot of fun.
Did you all notice the RX droid gambling table? The games?
Mhm.
Like
Yep.
I would love that. That would be really cool.
I'd love an RX droid, especially like if they did like DJ RX from Galaxy's
Mhm.
Edge, like because they did him for Star Tours like ages ago,
Mhm.
through the Disney Parks line that they used to make. But I'd love to see like a DJ RX too. That's like they did for Black Series, but just like for
Mhm.
TVC. But yeah, I mean a lot of those droids would be fun. And yeah, Sand Trooper definitely, because the ones that we have are they're not cutting it anymore after all these years.
They're very dated.
We got to have a Garanden as
Oh
well.
yes.
We
Like
got to
Yeah.
have
Blade.
Yeah, for me personally, that's like a less of a priority, just because
Right.
the one that they did in was it the
Saga.
Saga collection
Yep.
it's not horrible. I mean, it
No,
has
it's
like
great.
ball jointed like I think shoulders and
Yep.
knees maybe.
Yep.
It's decent, but yeah, for sure. At some point, they need to update him.
I wouldn't be mad if they gave him like a Figure and Dan treatment. Just gave him like similar pants, put a nice soft goods cape on him, proper head.
Ooh,
That
Yeah.
could work. Yeah.
Maybe a good way to do him.
definitely work.
Yeah, he looked cool on the card too.
Yeah,
The card
absolutely.
is so iconic. I don't know how they could ever leave that card. It's amazing. It's intrinsic with the purchase. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
The price wise, and it just goes with it. It's very nostalgic to me. The look of it. And I would love a Garanden on that card. The
Yeah,
double
Guaranteed
register.
on TVC card would be pretty cool.
Yep, would be really cool.
Yeah, I'd also like to see more like holiday special stuff. I mean, I'd really love to have that Acmina.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Zutmore for me.
Zutmore would be fabulous.
Yep.
All about
Mm.
Snivians and the
Yep.
Snaggletooth.
Then you could do your blue snaggletooth.
Yeah, Snivians are the
Oh.
best. Yeah. Blue Snaggletooth, please give us. I would love that. I would champion that. That's on my list too, top 25. I
Mhm.
got the, if you notice this, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I
My
love
custom,
it.
I just think that would be so cool if they did those retro suits, right? But they did
Yeah.
a modern style, like gave them the articulation, gave them all the looks and everything, because they did that with Black
Mhm.
Series, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
a lot of them were a hit.
Yes.
I thought the Greedo was really cool.
Yeah, I have that one.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. So,
Walrus Man for sure.
mm-hmm. Yep.
I
the
think
one.
too, like Jabba's palace, like EV-99 needs a new figure.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
That would tick off
Be
a
at the bar.
96 for sure.
Yep.
And he was in Mandalorian, and she was in Mandalorian.
She was, yeah.
Yeah.
The bar.
Yep.
Wonder
That
if
would be
she
killer.
poison drinks. I feel like that would be kind of her MO.
Yeah.
Just to get her kicks again.
Yeah.
The rabbit droid from the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Also, like all those crime syndicate, other families from Book of Boba Fett.
like the Trandoshan guys, and
the
those would be
Aqualish.
fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's like if we get any kind of new Ponda Baba, that could be used towards those Aqualish, new Bosk or something like that.
Right.
Use some of that tooling for any of those random Trandoshans.
Yeah, we're talking like customizers, aren't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We always do that. It's been a part of it.
Yeah.
I think you want to buy extra just so you can make what hasn't been made. I think that's what gives customizers the freedom. Let's buy an extra. Let's make this one.
But I like the Hasbro's doing similar things, like with Belkin Taziri and using, Cassian's lower legs to kind of make that figure happen and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's
smart
potential for them
leaders.
to do this too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're customizing just like us.
Yeah.
They got their lab all set up, and they're
Oh
just
yeah.
mad scientists up in there, right?
Another
That'd be a cool job.
yeah, another figure that I actually kind of want that's like a little further away from the Cantina is a new Anakin, young Anakin.
Young
Ooh.
Anakin.
And I think that figure, once you get that,
Yes.
you could use its tooling to get us the little child Tusken from the Book of Boba Fett.
Mm.
Man.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I
would
really
be cool
want one.
too.
That would be a great 2-for-1.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Like prequels.
Mm-hmm.
Prequels, we could get Klieg Lars finally. Where's my Klieg Lars people?
And his hover chair.
yes,
Yes.
that would be a cool figure, and finally get Kitster and Wall, right?
Oh, Kitster. Yes.
Yeah, Klieg Lars always cracks me up. Like anytime I think of him, it's like, Shmi is my wife. Like just
Yeah.
He gave the best speech though. That was such a sweet speech.
He did.
yeah.
He did.
So
Oh
happy.
man, there's so many. There's so many that they could make, or that they could bring out in the Return of Tatooine, and there's just a laundry list.
Yeah, there really is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff they could do. What about when we think about vehicles? Like, what kind of vehicles could be done to tie into Return to Tatooine? Toys Are the Way. What do you think?
They've done a lot of stuff, and I definitely one thing I always wanted, and I don't know if they'll ever go back and do, is a speeder for Mando.
Mm.
They never did a speeder for him. And we started getting speeder bikes and stuff like that, but that would have been something cool to have. Just something new media wise. As far as like OT, I definitely would like to see the ball speeder. That would have been really neat. I think it would have made people pretty excited. It's also small and I think doable, It's not asking for too much.
Totally.
Yep.
Susan, what do you think?
Oh, got so many that I made a list.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm ready. Cobb Vanth speeder.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the pod racer thing like that.
Man.
I feel like that would sell well.
That would go well with Mando's speeder.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Buddy's riding down the thing. Oh, do you remember in Attack of the Clones when Anakin and Padme are riding in that little what's it
rickshaw?
Called?
The rickshaw.
Yes, and then it's in Book of Boba Fett too.
100%. Oh,
I'd
man.
buy a ton of those. I'd buy 10 of them.
I agree.
Like that droid, it's so cool. That's pulling it.
Yeah, that's a neat one.
Yeah.
Yep. Booty booty.
That was like perfect. That was like so on.
I want that thing too. I love that thing. I was gonna say it myself. But
You
go
were?
ahead.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd love it. No, please chime in. I love it. Yeah, I want that so bad because I feel like it'd be, just like the ball speeder. It's small enough, but like you can fit it in different scenes and it won't take up too much space on the shelf, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll ever do a sand crawler? That would be a new updated one.
Maybe at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like a proper sandcrawler. I don't know if it should be a HasLab or something,
I'd want one.
Mm-hmm.
but I would
Kinda
take
what
a
I was
better
wondering.
sandcrawler for sure.
Yeah.
It'd be a fun place to put all these Disney droids that I have just like in my collection that need to go to a random place or something.
Do you not have the Disney one? The
I
Disney
don't.
one's really cool. It's awesome. It has all kinds of like electronics and whatnot, going
Really?
on, sounds and whatnot. But it's not super big.
Yeah.
I would want it to be more grand.
Mhm.
So I would want it as a HasLab for sure. But I'm fine with the Disney one that I have right now.
Mhm. Yeah, it was in Jedi Survivor, like a sandcrawler was, if you played that game.
Mm.
It was in there. It was pretty cool because you could kind of go in it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool.
I wish they would re-release Luke's land speeder
That
because
would
I
be
never
cool.
got the
Yeah.
TBC one.
Oh no.
That's like low hanging fruit. I'm surprised they actually haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
I guess if they were gonna do it, I'd rather than make a new one. The TVC one is really nice, but the figures are kind of like crammed in there. I would like to see one that's scaled a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And then that would be an opportunity to include like a carded figure that they could add in there. Would be kind of nice as well.
Okay.
Yeah, land speeder would be great. Chad, did you have any others?
Oh my gosh, I got a ton. Not only the rickshaw, but the triangle speeder. You know, the white one that is also the
yes.
identical to the Lars speeder.
That
And
was
then
so good.
And then here we go, right? You know,
Uh-huh.
I know we're going away from Tatooine, but you could make the Lars speeder, and then you can make the white one with the yellow trim, and then you could paint it completely yellow, and it could be a Rebels one. You know,
That's
so now
pretty
you
cool.
have those speeders. Oh my gosh, the Zoo 1000. You know, it's like a little kind of pod looking thing. It's really strange looking. And then the Ubrikian one, which is the pod, and then I think there's that other one with the legs, you know,
Yeah.
to out front or
That
whatever.
was so cool.
So that's what I would do for vehicles, and then the rickshaw, and then the Cobb Vanth speeder, because it's just so popular. I mean, that had to be Anakin's, pod race engine,
Oh,
Totally.
100%, and that would be an instant, especially with him coming out, or he's been pipelined, so definitely get the speeder out as well. That would be a double purchase, or you could find a way to sell him more than once. Put him on a different card or something, or maybe even make him loose and in the package, and maybe make him maybe he didn't have the armor or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's a lot of the vehicles that I would like to see in there. Maybe put a stand with the land speeder, maybe tilt it or something like that. So it's on an angle flying. Would you guys want a what is it called, the Skyhopper again? Would you want to see that again?
100%.
I would think it again.
Yeah. Like next year, for the Power of the Force, maybe it has like a Power of the Force box or something, that would be
cool.
weird. That would be weird, but
I have that one.
Next year's a huge year. I mean, it's not only the is it the 30th of right? How many years has it been? It's gonna be 40, right? Since the Power of the Force line. Yeah. And then 30 since the Power of the Force 2, and then 20 since Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
It's going to be a huge year, and I hope they're not going to I hope they're going to be mindful of these anniversaries, because obviously we really like anniversaries in this community.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I would like to see some more episode 1 stuff this year.
It's kind of sad about that.
Yeah,
that was a big bummer.
I want Watto's junk shop. That would be cool.
Me too. Sign me up. I'll take it.
Yeah, the land speeder would be cool. I never got the old T-16 Skyhopper that they did. Was it like Power of the Jedi or Power of the Force 2?
It was Power of the Force 2. Okay. It was really early on.
Yeah, I never picked that up. So I mean, I would totally get like a new one. Any of the soup bikes, like Mando's soup bike or Cobb Vanth's, like like cobbled together speeder thing, I would take that. What about creatures? Let's think about creatures, because there's on Tatooine we see a lot of creatures, probably more than any other planet. What are we thinking? Chad, do you have some creatures you want to see in TVC for Return to Tatooine?
A legitimate Jurassic style Ronto. Let's go. Where all the gear comes off of the perch comes off of it, and it looks like a Jurassic Park version, and it's just a legitimate looking Ronto. Dewback, of course, the Gerba. Like I said, they already have the head made. All they have to do is make the body, put some cool boxes on the side. You could even put like the Cantina snitch with him, with the Gerba, or something else. We said the Dewback earlier, didn't we?
Yes.
I can't think of any. Oh, yes, I can think of something else. Make a Scurriers pack. That's something I'm 3D printing right now. I'm making Scurriers.
Oh, cool.
And they appeared in the Book of Boba Fett as well. Those little creatures. They look like little kangaroos or little rats or something like that.
Yeah.
put that with somebody, like accessorize, right?
Yeah.
That
That'd be
would be
smart to actually
great.
have with Pelly because she found some in the N1 when they were repairing it.
That's
Right.
right.
Exactly.
Good
Yeah.
memory.
Yeah, I would love something like that. There's so many different types of world building, and that is the heart of our 3.75, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Toys of the Way, you excel at this. I've
Thank you,
seen
sir.
your stuff and your stations that you do, and I want to get into that kind of thing because I don't
So
actually
good.
do that. You know.
Yeah, I always need more stuff to put in here, so give me all the beasts.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I think a band.
There's
I think an
what's that?
updated band would be cool.
Oh
Bantha.
man.
I really
Yeah.
like the Power of the Force 2 one. It's my favorite. But it doesn't have much
Yeah.
articulation, and it is actually still pricey to
Right.
find.
Yeah. I just got an extra one of those online
Nice.
a while ago. I put it with my with my barge back here.
Nice.
It's kind
Yeah.
of in the background.
I got mine in the box still.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. I can't open it. It's just.
I mean,
It
you've
has
seen
a-
that box. It's nostalgic.
Yeah. It has like a hole so you can
So you
like
can
at
feel
least
the fur.
touch it. Yeah, but I would love a Bantha.
Yeah, the 30th anniversary collection one too is outdated. Like, I know it's kind of like the same thing, right? Just they changed the hair on it, but that's one that for sure. Like, I mean, you think of how critical the Bantha has been in like the Disney Plus like series, right? Like that's something that really needs to be revisited.
We also just got all those Tuscans recently, so it's kind of a smart one to have.
We have 100 on the dot in the Cantina right now. Thank you guys for joining in and hanging out with us. We are talking Return to Tatooine and items that we feel would be awesome to release as part of the Return to Tatooine initiative. We're currently focusing on creatures. Now I have one right here that I wanted to ask you guys about because I don't. Is this a Womp-Rat or this one came I think with the Lars Homestead, but I forget what.
Yeah.
Is that what this guy is?
Yep. It's a Womp-Rat. It's only 2 meters.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Did this come out any other way, or was it only with the Lars Homestead?
It was only with the Lars
Yeah.
Homestead. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I have one
Yeah.
over there too.
Pat Doc 22 says it's a chupacabra. Kind of looks like that.
It really does.
It really does. Here, I'll bring him back out. Look at this guy.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's cool. It's
It's
very
so nasty.
Yeah,
These-
it's very nasty.
Like more intimidating than the massive that we have.
Yeah.
It looks like it has rabies. Look at this guy.
It's good for Halloween. Did
Yeah.
you ever watch the Ewok movies?
I was just gonna bring that up. It looks
Yeah.
like that creature
Yeah. I
that
love
was
those
much larger
movies.
and attacked them in the first movie.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know
Yeah,
more.
there's
That's
a
good.
lot of there's several creatures. I think the dewback certainly, but it needs to be original trilogy based, special edition based, and not Phantom Menace based like the last one. Because actually, I think I actually have it chilling right here. But the last one that they did is totally the Phantom Menace, and it's like it's different. They tweaked. I don't know why they needed to tweak it for Phantom Menace, but they did. So I want to see them take the Black Series one and just like bring that one down because I think that'd be the best way to do it.
They've
Yeah.
also like tweaked it back now in like Mandalorian and other stuff to be kind of like a hodgepodge of the two put together.
I think I'm gonna toss that dewback out too because it's really it feels horrible. It feels really sticky.
Yeah, I hate that
Ooh.
about that release.
I was bummed out about that one because it didn't come with the headgear. I don't know if you've ever seen the prototypes of those.
Yeah.
It
They're
actually
supposed to come
had
with
the
it.
headgear from episode 1, and it would have been way better.
I agree.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Toys Are the Way. Did you say your dewback had that happen too?
Yeah, it feels sticky. Every once in a while when I'm like dusting down the shelves and I pick that thing up, I'm like, oh, it feels awful. So I
Ooh.
always
Yeah.
give it a
okay.
good cleaning.
Well, it's not just mine then, I guess. So I was gonna throw it out and buy another one, but if it's gonna happen again, then
I think it's just something about the quality of that plastic on that one.
yeah. Kind of like the Jabba that they did a while back too. There was a Jabba the Hutt that they made that had that issue too. It was like sticky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people told me horror stories about that one completely like melting away.
For some reason, mine's not sticky. I don't know what it is. I have mine in the. I have it in the cardboard, the cardboard palace. You know, it's the Shadows of the Dark Side Walmart exclusive. But for some reason, mine's not sticky. I don't know why. It's not. Every once in a while I'll squeeze it and whatnot, but it doesn't really feel what people are describing. And I understand what it is because it's made out of some kind of rubber of some sort. So
yeah. My vintage collection, Republic Gunship, did kind of something similar where it started like just decomposing on its own. None of I have all the other gunships. None of them ever had this problem. For whatever reason, that TVC one did, and I've heard from some other people too that theirs had that issue. So I don't know what it was.
Was it your TVC one or the Saga Collection one?
Yeah, it was the TVC one, the last one they released.
I always thought for some reason it was your Saga Collection one because that happened a little bit on my Saga Collection one.
No, I haven't noticed on any of the other ones. They all seem to be good. It's just for whatever reason that one, like,
yeah,
that's the one you would least want it to happen to. But oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, I love all the gunships. I don't have the TVC one, thankfully, but I have all the gunships, and they're really cool. They're really cool.
Yeah,
I heard some horror stories about the TVC one, but I won't get into it.
Yeah.
About the melting.
There was other factors too. I kind of heard through the grapevine that there was like some defects or something like that. Like there was some like known like shifting of the canopy. Like it didn't have it had a reverse canopy, so the canopy wouldn't fit on there.
Huh.
You know, and I think I don't know if it was known by and large, but I think they were like, oh, look, pretty box. I don't want to get into it. You know, I appreciate everything they do, you know, but I heard some there was like some defects on the TVC one for some strange reason. Yeah. Anyway.
Jeffrey, absolutely love a to scale Starlight Pit. I'm surprised I forgot this one because that was the first one I thought of the other day when I was on
right.
I think I was on John Meekley's stream.
Yeah, you were talking about that with somebody.
Yeah. I mean, the Starlight, 100%. Like they made one like 2007, 2008, but it's small and it's more just like an accessory. It's not really like the focus of that set. So I think that like we have a beautiful sail barge. We got skiffs. We got Jabba's palace. So we don't have a Starlight Pit, a proper one to throw our figures into. So we need that.
Do you want it with the beak or without the beak?
Optional.
Yes, removable beak. There you go.
Removable beak. Yeah.
Maybe it has like an underlayer where you can put Boba Fett in there.
Yeah.
I
don't have it myself.
Stormtrooper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There needs to be some goo in it. Yeah.
Like slime or something. Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, like slime.
Yeah.
Wow. Like what they do like on the Jurassic World, like with the Rexes that eat the figures and then they come out of its belly, like something like that would be cool.
That'd be neat.
That would be pretty dope.
Let's see here. Hey Greg, how is it going? Greg says so many Phantom Menace series that turn sticky, but Power of the Force 2 and Power of the Jedi are not. Very strange. Yeah, that's interesting. That is very interesting.
That is.
This is another one. Rudy says that his Wampa Cave Ice Pillar got sticky too. Mine too. Yes. Yeah. I don't know why. That was such a cool thing they did back in 2003 where they had the Luke with the ice cave, and it was the Wampa that came with it, but then Luke came with a piece of it and you could hang him upside down. Like
I just reset that up the other day. I was dusting the shelf and I took it out and mine was sticky as well. So same. The Wampa was too. The little his meat, the leg, you know, the leg, the tauntaun leg.
Yeah,
it was really sticky. So
do you think it's humidity that causes that?
Age, maybe. I don't know.
I think it's the age. It's like
plastics
degradation.
Yeah,
it's very odd. Just
Yeah.
curious.
I mean, they're all slowly like decomposing and gassing out.
Mhm.
Just imagine
Oh.
in another like 30 years with a lot. It's probably gonna be worse on more items.
It's
But
gonna melt.
Yeah.
that's how
I
it
was
goes.
just curious if it was based on like, you know, where you're at, where you're located in the US.
Could be.
Oh, do we need a drink? Oh, okay. We need to serve up this
Oh,
this drink
man.
here.
Cantina.
There you go.
Yeah. We
We
can do
Pasta.
that. Just be careful who you sit next to, because if you sit down next to the wrong person, I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
You don't know what could happen. It could be anything. We don't want that.
See, bagging for Bannis. Hashtag bagging for Bannis. Let's go.
I'm so impressed you have all those on hand.
I have too much time on my hands is what it's called. Hey Ken, how's it going? Ken says Tashi Station, new Cammy Fixer and Kate Biggs. Yeah, we didn't talk about play sets. Are there any kind of play sets that we think Return to Tatooine could benefit from having as part of this focus? Other than Tashi Station, which would be awesome.
Totally.
Watto's Junk Shop.
Yeah, Watto's Junk Shop, Lars Homestead. We'll bring that back out. Maybe spice it up a little bit. You know.
I would like them to go back and visit some accessories. So like they never, I'm sure they still have the tooling for it, but the moisture evaporator.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure if you put that with some kind of like army builder as like a deluxe set, people would buy multiples of those just for their displays to have maybe 4 moisture evaporators. And that allows you to kind of build out some kind of environment and still like get figures too.
Right.
I think that'd be
100%.
smart for them to reconsider.
Each thing that comes out for Return to Tatooine has a piece of the moisture evaporator, like a build a moisture evaporator.
I'd be
Oh
here
my
for that.
God.
I miss that kind of like being able to build extra things, you know?
Yeah. Or it just comes with one, right? Everything comes with a moisture evaporator. So we have like 20
so
of them,
cool.
you know. The dewback comes with a moisture evaporator. The place comes with a moisture evaporator. Everybody
I'd
comes
totally
with
be
one.
here for that.
Yeah,
Take all the
I'm
moisture
down.
evaporators they want to give us.
Like
100%.
Obi-Wan's hut. Obi-Wan's hut in the New Hope.
I think
that'd
we
be
need
fun.
that. That would be a good one. The Obi-Wan's hut. You know, they
Yeah.
need to utilize that. You know, this line here, the $50 line.
Mhm.
You know,
So good.
just do like an L-shaped, you know, Kenobi hut or something, and just have that same stuff. You know, the basket and the table and the holographic Leia or something. I think people would go for that. You know, the world building is key in the TVC line. You know, in the legacy scale. You know,
Something like the droid bath at Luke's homestead.
oh man, that would be the Lars garage. Yes.
And
And
you
then
use it for your Attack of the Clones display if you want to put, you know, Anakin in there that night, or keep it
Throwing
original
stuff.
trilogy. Have Luke in
I
there.
killed them all.
Women and the children too.
Yeah, the children too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
think
would
that'd
be
be fun.
Yep. That'd be perfect.
Yeah. What about I mean, I know we just back to Cantina, but what about Garza Whip's Cantina?
Oh,
I would totally buy that.
That would be interesting.
what would
That'd
the
be
figures be?
interesting.
Oh, so many.
There's a lot of them.
So many aliens in there.
Yeah, there's a ton of aliens in there as well.
We need those buff Gamorrean guards.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't know why we haven't gotten any of those yet.
Yeah, I'm actually a little sad they haven't given us even just the Gamorrean guards again.
Yeah, just re-release those.
But yeah, we need those twin Gamorrean guards. They'd be cool.
Yep. Oh, we need the twins too on that that dais.
Yes.
You know, and everybody's carrying them. You know.
Oh, yeah, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that stuff would be great. You know, or even the Rancor and the what's the thing that the Pikes have, that giant robot? Was it like the
droid thing?
the spider droid or something? Or Helix droid, or I don't know what it was called.
I don't know.
Yeah, that like Destroyer droid
Yeah.
on steroids.
Yeah,
On
that thing would
steroids.
be sick, and then do the Rancor, do the variant Rancor. That way we
Yes.
had a totally
Something.
different Rancor.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
of course,
Good
it's got to
point.
come with Danny Trejo, of course.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Hey Ryan, how's it going? Ryan was on last week. I would love that multi-arm thing from the book of Boba Fett. Yeah, I think
Dolomite,
that's the thing you guys are. Is that
somebody.
the thing you guys are talking about? That droid?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
That's neat.
I want Aunt Beru's kitchen. You know, like that Lego one?
Oh yeah.
I would kill for her kitchen. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, she had a pretty cool 70s kitchen, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
With lots of blue milk containers.
Lots of blue milk containers.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's a lot that they could do. And I envisioned kind of like even more dioramas where they did like a Streets of Mos Eisley and they played out that modular aspect, right?
Yeah.
And they did the parts outside, all those different engines that like crash ship and like all the different things, and maybe put an exclusive figure with each part. I don't know how expensive that would get, but that would be great. We would at least have the outside of the cantina.
It'd be interesting if they tried to, do some Streets of Mos Eisley, similar to like the Mandalorian Cantina, where you could just connect them, maybe make
Right.
like a whole like corridor of a street.
Yes.
That would be. I would buy
Yes.
that. Hmm.
Yeah, and one of them is Docking Bay 94, that wall,
Mhm.
the wall where the door, and you
Yeah.
can place everybody down in there. For us that have all the figures, it's a dream come true. You can just plop
Yeah.
them right in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, you could use it, for like, putting sand troopers in front of, if you want to have that kind of like setup, or you could have, if we ever get Pikes versus Boba Fett,
Yeah,
Mhm.
those scenes too.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think we have both options, tons of options.
Yeah, they've kind of never done like an exterior playset that I can.
Yeah. We could have markets and stuff like in episode 1.
Mhm.
Oh man, that would be great.
That'd be an interesting.
Pod race garage with the Ann and Tangala. Oh
Oh.
jeez,
Oh,
forget
that'd be
it.
cool.
Forget it.
Yep.
Charlie, thank you for the tip. Scorpionic Annihilator droids is what
There
the
it is. There it is. Yes,
Charlie for the win.
I'll take one of those.
Scorpionic.
All right, bartender,
Point.
pass Charlie a drink. We're getting
Yeah.
that right.
What would the price point be on that, Charlie? What do you think? Jeez. And would it come with a Grogu?
Of course,
Yeah.
we need another Grogu, right?
Yeah.
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 Would it come with an energy shield?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that,
Man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
which is really just like a gerbil ball that goes over it.
Yeah.
Pat Doc 22 says comes with cups.
Comes with cups.
Gotta have more cups.
Comes
I'll
with
take all the
cups.
cups.
Yeah, I love the Pelly idea with the removable tooth, or like the variant head.
Yeah,
You
very
know,
That's my dream.
Do her on a single card with the pit droid and the what's the little droid that comes with
BD.
yeah. Do her with those two droids, right? Because we already got
Mhm.
R5D4, right? And then do her with the rickshaw, and she has the missing tooth, right? There you
That'd
go.
be a dream come true.
There you go. I dream big, man. That's why I customize.
Mhm.
I do whatever I cannot get.
I like that.
Yeah.
Use your imagination.
Right. Freedom.
You said you were an artist, right, Chad?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's been my passion for a long time. I've always kind of wanted to do this stuff. This action figure making and whatnot. And I've always touted myself as a visionary, I guess. But I'm just in line with everybody else. I just try to customize. I make what they don't make, or what I'm hopeful for. And when we see things on our our top 25s, and they make it, you feel listened to. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And that's like a connection that we have, you know, it gives us goodwill, you know. I had one, I think it was 2021, my top 25 list. It was my bingo. I mean, I got like
Wow.
10, like 15 people on that list were made. And I was just like, wow, I feel good about this. You know, I feel like I was listened to, you know?
That's a good feeling.
Yeah. You know,
Hmm. Where's my Pong Krill?
yeah,
For
let's
real.
go. You know, I, after all that hard work they did, you know, are they going to make that thing? You know, let's hope. Let's hope they make it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Charlie, thank you for another tip. In the lore, those droids are made by colicoids, the same aliens that make the droidicas. They are much rare. Okay, well, that would explain why they look similar.
Cool.
Mm.
Cool.
Good deep
That's
lore.
amazing. Thanks for
Yeah.
the tip.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Charlie's got all the answers.
Yeah. The master of lore, right?
Mhm.
All right, let's do a speed round on this one as we
Speed
approach
round.
the 2-hour mark. We'll do a speed round on this one. Possible future HasLab projects. So maybe each of us can mention one thing that, you know, could be a possible, not necessarily the one you want the most or hope is the next one, but one possible, maybe viable HasLab project for the future.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chad, you can start us off.
I'm in the Dole fan club. Ewok Village. Let's go.
Ooh.
Okay, Susan?
I was thinking the Lars homestead would actually be cool based on what they did with the cantina.
Right on. Toys are the way.
I have to go Marauder and Bad Batch.
Ooh.
It's got to get
Yeah.
done. That
Nice.
shit's pretty cool, and man, I don't know when we're gonna get those figures. I'm tired of Hunter sitting alone over there on that shelf.
Yeah.
Does that have a squad?
Yeah.
What do you think, Victoria?
I think the next one's going to be a Black Series. I really do. But if I could, I mean, I think Death Star makes sense. Just I think this modular cantina kind of paves the way for a modular cantina that's kind of a similar thing. Different scenes you can combine or spread apart. I don't want like a big ball because that would be kind of silly. I mean, maybe it comes with something like that you can have on display, like in the background, just to do some forced perspective, right, behind your
Mhm.
figures. But I think like a modular Death Star would be great. I really want something from the prequels, though. I don't know what, because they covered it so well, like in 15, 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah,
I really want
Mhm.
something from the prequels, though. I think that would be a really cool thing to see at some point.
I agree. They did so much though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Think about
what
it.
would you guys want? I was having this very conversation the other night in one of my groups. And I agree, Toys Are the Way. They did such a good job making so many big things. What could really be like fantastic enough that people would back it? We don't want it to fail. So what would be enough to back something from one of the films? You know, because they already did the Nubian. The Nubian was great. Would they do the other one? The one from episode 2?
Oh yeah,
Mm.
That would be cool. But would that be enough?
yeah.
I-
They barely had that much screen time.
Yeah.
Maybe like at the Razor Crest price point, they could do that second one. What was that one called? The one from episode 2.
Ooh. It gets blown up too, doesn't it?
No,
Kind
no,
of.
that's not the one I was thinking of. The one like
Oh.
the Corvette, like the one that they take to Tatooine.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, yes.
The kind of the sleeker one, and it's more like a rocket.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Would you want something like that, Victoria, or like what did you have in mind for episode 1 or a prequels type of?
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, they did so many great things. There's the turbo tank, the ATTE. There's the Droid Federation, the big tank, the MTT.
Mhm.
I mean, there's the gunships. Like they did some. I don't want to see them redo things that have already been done. Like HasLab, I think should be like an opportunity to do new things that have never been touched. so that's tough. I mean, there's no prequel trilogy equivalent of like the Millennium Falcon, like, you know, something like that. I mean, it's different ships in every movie, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's it makes it kind of challenging. But also like environments. I mean, they did like the Geonosis arena that's behind Susan there. They did the Mustafar playset. I mean, something, it had to be super iconic. I feel like Jedi Council, we see that in every movie, and they did do that though. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
keep
I
saying
really
that, you know,
struggle.
I was listening to you guys the other night, you know, and you were talking about the Jedi Council, and I was like, well, what about the one that already exists? You know, I actually do not have that, and I
Yeah,
think
you're
it's
right.
really cool, you know. But how would it warrant a HasLab? I don't think it would, to be honest. A Jedi
Yeah,
Council.
I mean,
I like Tyler from SWTVC. You know, his idea about the lat
I think the lat would be
D.
cool.
Yeah, the one
Yeah,
that drops the ATTEs.
that's
You
a
know,
very good
yeah,
idea.
I struggle with that though, because that only carries two
really.
figures, right? And a HasLab needs to
Yeah.
like, it
Okay.
needs to soak up
Yeah.
figures. And then you
Right.
would need to have the ATTE in order to do that. And who's going to walk around carrying that, you know, holding onto the ATT? Like, I'm never going to do
Yeah.
that. So it defeats the
Nobody's
purpose
gonna
of
do
it.
that, right? It's gonna be too
Um,
heavy. And there it
yeah.
goes. Yeah.
The only thing they didn't do that would be cool would be like Dooku Solar Sailor, but then that's not really, it's not iconic in the way that a lot of, like any of these HasLabs, like the Razor Crest instantly became iconic. The Ghost, you know, became iconic over a period of time. The Cantina is iconic. The sail barge is iconic. So it needs to be something, I think, that fits that, like, either it's new media that people latch onto, like, oh, this is amazing, this needs to happen like right then and there, or it needs to be like something with pent up demand, like you know, like a Death Star, like the Marauder, you know,
What
something
about
like that.
I want
what
the
about
whole
Luthen?
Bunta race course and all of the pod racers.
Yes. Yes.
Because they only made 2, so we need the rest of the pods and the racetrack.
I would love
Yeah.
more pod racers.
And the
Sounds
entire,
good.
like the whole
Yeah.
group where you can put bleachers and everything, you know.
Yeah.
I always wanted that guy that was selling, that alien that was selling stuff in the
Oh, yeah.
bleachers. You know? You know, it was like he was like selling stuff and he had a giant tray. You know, I always wanted that guy. I am like a fanatic for episode 1.
Yeah.
I love them in order.
Yeah.
I love the prequels in order.
I like
You
that
know.
last comment, actually. I was thinking, I was like, you know, they never made a Trade Federation ship. It would be ridiculous and
That would be
so
Yeah.
big, but
I don't know how you would do that.
never do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did like this. They did too. This Jedi Starfighter with the hyperspace ring, maybe not scaled correctly, but I mean, it's been done. So it's like, I would love a new Sandcrawler too. I'd love a new Imperial shuttle, but it's like they've been done. Like, I'd rather have something I don't already have. That's, you know, a dream project. And I mean, other than Death Star, I really can't think of anything. I know a lot of folks want the Ewok Village and Dagobah, but
Yeah.
I mean, do those need to be HasLabs? I mean, could it be something more like what they did with Boba Fett's Throne Room kind of thing, like $200, $250 price point? I mean,
That'd be
maybe.
a good idea.
Let's get some more of those. What makes that happen? You know, what makes it where it's just a
Pulse
Hasbro
exclusive.
Pulse exclusive? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, let's get some more of those where they feel confident enough that people will buy those. I would be all for it. You know, for
Yeah.
Pulse stuff.
I like that way of getting some of those larger things out there.
Yeah, that E-wing's dope. I just hope they build upon it. You know, there were rumors that the Sabine was going to come out, and I hope she does. You know, because that, again, that's that
On her
building
speeder bike.
of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I want that Sabine.
With the hair, the helmet, you know, and the speeder bike, you know, and you have the E-wing, and you can complete that whole park.
Yeah,
That whole scene, you know, that's what TVC is all about, you know, world building.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Luthen's ship, the Fondor, that's one I would really love to have. That thing was pretty cool. But I don't know if a lot of people, you know,
what is the
resonated with
Mantis?
them.
I'm sorry. What is the Mantis? Do you know what that is? Is that the ship from Fallen Order?
Yes. Oh, the Mantis would be so cool.
Yeah. Somebody was like, "Oh, let's get a Mantis," you know, and I'm like, "What is the Mantis?" You know, I've always wanted the Twilight, you know, from Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that thing was so iconic to me. You know, I'm a Clone Wars crazy man. You know, you say Clone Wars, I'm running. I'm running.
I hear you.
Yeah, I love Clone Wars. You know.
Same.
All right. Well, I think these are all great suggestions to hear for sure.
Mhm. Yep.
And we'll see. I just, hopefully they give us a break and then, before they announce the next one. Let's jump into our final segment here. New acquisitions that have been added to our collections.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that we want to share that we've recently added. Toys Are the Way. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I got some stuff. Got a couple things actually. So, never had this one, and I was like, Cantina, why don't I have this figure? So, had to pick that up, of course. Would love a new one, so we get a proper Bosk out there, but had to get Boshek. And then, of course, all this kind of stuff has just been floating in as well.
Wow.
But my
There you
most
go.
exciting thing that I actually picked up is I had to follow your footsteps, Victoria.
Oh wow. There you go.
Nice. The Lucky Laku.
Oh,
Yes.
Wow.
I found it for a pretty nice price, and I was like, you know what? I gotta get it.
that's so
Sweet.
good.
Very excited. I only opened it to make sure it was like actually in there, so still gotta open it up
Nice.
and put it somewhere. But
So now you have all of them too, right?
no, I actually don't have the vintage one, the vintage collection version, and then the 2 Revenge of the Sith ones.
All right. Nice. Well, that's
Yeah.
definitely one of the best
Those are-
ones, I think. Lucky Laku. I love the art on the front. It's
Oh
great.
yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
gunship.
So, Susan, what do you got?
Oh, I got some Hot Toys that came in. I haven't opened this one up yet, but I got the Shadow Stormtrooper with that Death Star
Sweet.
display.
Cool.
I buy the Heritage scale, and then I also buy the Hot Toys stuff.
The baller
And I
scale.
also got
Baller scale.
the baller
Exactly.
scale.
Whoa.
The money scale, and then Wrecker. I got him not too long ago. He looks pretty dope.
That is so sick.
Yeah, and then just some of I got Zeb. He just came in this week as well.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Chad, what you got there?
Oh my gosh. So I support my fellow customizer, right? I have some Stan Solos. Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, he's so
So
good.
first off, I got a Power of the Force inspired coin laden Luke Skywalker Dagobah. Look
Ooh,
at
that is sweet.
It's pretty cool.
Is that
That's
impressive or
awesome.
what?
He's so good.
I have,
Or
yeah,
them.
he is really good. I'm really impressed by what he does, and I have the Greedo as well.
Oh, nice.
And this is kind of a retro look for Greedo, but it's more of a screen accurate, you know.
Yeah,
And it
I
has
like
the coin and everything. So I had to get these because I'm into coins for some reason. That's why I mentioned that about the Tonica sisters, right?
I was
and
curious. You were
I
very
thought,
interested in the coin.
what's that?
I was curious. You seemed very excited about the coin
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah, I love the coins. I think they're great. I love the tack line. You know, I got all the coins for those. Some of the other things I picked up, I got a TVSC Bosk, and I'm gonna rip him out of this clamshell because it's kind of yellow and whatnot, and I'm gonna put him up on the wall. I got a few other ones. I got an IG-88. I got a Han Solo Hoth.
Nice.
I got a whole bunch of them. It's not like I didn't have them. You know, I have them open. But this wall behind me that you're seeing, it's just my extras.
Yeah.
You know, so I do like a 96 kind of vibe, you know. So I'm just collecting what I have for complete the 96.
Cool.
You know, so I put it in a star case and I leave it go. But everything else gets opened and gets on the shelf. So I got like Darth Vader recently. I got a ton of stormtroopers. I got the Night Troopers. I got the Luke X-wing. Jeez, so much stuff. Can I show something that that's not Star Wars?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Go for it.
Well, I got these other ones.
He looks
These
so
are these are
defeated.
called Street Fighters. Street Fighter 2
Oh, cool.
Oh,
figures.
nice.
So I collect some of those. That's a couple other things that I'm enthusiastic about. But mainly Star Wars. So I just a ton of stuff has been coming in lately, and I'm very nostalgic for old stuff too. I'm filling holes all the time, constantly filling holes. So
Nice.
I'm getting
Yeah.
older stuff. I got a Famba recently. The big old
Huh?
Yeah.
the big old Famba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I've been trying to like get older stuff to kind of go with it. So a lot of pickups
Awesome.
this week, right?
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Score.
Yeah.
Awesome. And anybody in the chat too, let us know what you've been picking up. I see a few people are responding already. All right, I guess it's my turn. So I got a new Elvis t-shirt. So
Ooh.
there's that. Not Star Wars, but
Yeah.
I got some Hot Toys too, Susan. I had 3 come in this week.
Nice. What'd you
So
get?
I had the Shadow Stormtrooper come in like you.
Mhm.
I got the reissue regular Stormtrooper. I had one from the previous release, but I got another one because I wanted to have at least 2. And then I got C-3PO came in as well. Finally,
Oh wow.
like
Return
my
of
Is that the
Jedi.
one with the Salacious Crumb?
Yep.
That's
Nice.
Yeah, and I haven't had they just came in yesterday. I haven't had a chance to open them up or anything. Today though, I did receive, and this was an eBay purchase. This is something that I was kind of repurchasing. So I'll show you guys what that is right here. So I got Kit Fisto's lightsaber.
cool.
Whoa.
Nice.
Wow.
Beautiful.
So this is the Hasbro Black Series version. Uh-oh, it's not turning on. The blade, it got hit by cortosis or something. It's not turning on.
Ooh.
Uh,
Look out for Smilo.
Wow.
Ren.
It comes with the blade, right?
It does. I'm just trying to figure out why it's not. Why isn't it? Is somebody doing that? Who could that be?
Hello.
I knew it. I knew it. So
Oh,
this is the Black Series version. This was actually released by by Hasbro back in 2010. I was gonna say Master Replicas. Hasbro in 2010, and I had it back then. This was the first one they engineered with a removable blade, and I did buy it back then. But then at some point over the years, I ended up selling it. Thankfully, they released it under the Black Series banner, like in 2020. And I just never got around to picking it up at the time, but now I have it. So it's Kit Fisto's lightsaber. It's a really nice hilt. It feels great. It's very like slim, but it feels awesome, like in your hands, like for like spinning around. But it does have the blade. You just do this, take the top of the emitter off, and then there is a little plug that comes out of the top of the emitter. And then you put the blade in. Let's see if I can get this.
Ooh.
All right, and then you put, I know it's noisy. Then you put this piece back on. Am I doing this right?
Rejecting the blade.
What's that?
Yeah, I was just joking. I said it's rejecting the blade. It's making that weird noise.
I know it's the blade bouncing on the on top of the connection point inside the hilt.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
You're getting the Kit Fisto Hot Toys, aren't you, Victoria?
I did pre-order that one.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm that's the first Alien Jedi they've done. So. Which I think when you think about it, technically even the humans in Star Wars are aliens, right? Because they're on other planets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties with this one. So yeah, anyways, it does have the blade, obviously. So you put the blade in there and it has a nice green glow to it. It's not like a NeoPixel or anything like that, but you know, it's nice to finally rehab, because I've done this many times over the years where I bought something and then I've ended up like parting with it for whatever reason. And then years later, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back and buy that again. So, you know, it's oftentimes more expensive to do that. But Thankfully, this one hadn't really appreciated in price in the last few years that it's been out. So it really wasn't too bad. So I'm glad I was able to add it to the collection once again.
Well, great.
But that's all I've added to my collection this week. I haven't had anything else coming in. I think next week, I'm trying to think. Do I have something coming in next? Well, we'll see. We'll see on Social Hour next week. But for this week, this is all I have.
Yeah, keep it a surprise.
Yeah. So jumping back at the chat, let's see what people have been adding to their collections. Lots of conversation about HasLab and stuff. Rick says, picked up 4 sets of Night Troopers this week, and TVC Leia, Mando Judge, an extra TVC TIE Fighter to keep in the packaging, and finally got Torn Far. Very nice. Torn Far is a good one to have. Definitely a good one to have. Lorena says, I got 2 Yodas this week. One was TPM Yoda with Jedi. Nice. Let's see here. Capitan says, I received 4 packages today with 19 different figures.
Wow.
Score.
Win.
Adam says, Super 7, Mars Attacks Martian with Exploded.
Oh,
nice.
Man.
Those are cool looking.
Lorena says 2 Yodas. One was TPM Jedi Council Chair Yoda, and the other is the Clone Wars Yoda. See, Clone Wars 14, not the 2003 version. Very nice. There's so many Clone Wars figures, and then it just gets muddled with Clone Wars Micro Series, and then the Clone Wars, and
oh man,
then they restarted that line like every year. So
I wish they'd bring back Clone Wars. Man, that would be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great. You know, they put out 200 figures. You know, if you know me from my other YouTubing, you know, I was doing a Clone Wars focus show, you know, where we wanted to do all the different things that they didn't make, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. But yeah.
Let's see. We've got Luke says, I got Zeb and Grogu with Force Flame and Incinerator Trooper and Cantina Navarro Trooper with Laser Cannon thingy. Laser Cannon thingy. I love it. Most recent's in the mail. Alex says, hey, Alex, Super 7 Kang and Kodo Simpson aliens.
Kang and Kodos. Yep.
And within the last week, new TVC Leia. A few weeks before that, Min on Cord Vintage Ewoks to continue filling the every figure card back focus. Capitan says E.T. from Wendy's back in the day. Ooh, that's cool.
Wow.
3 1/4 inch is in my Cantina setup. Yeah, E.T. could fit in the Cantina. I don't see why not.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the Phantom Menace. Yeah.
Yep.
Or
put him in the pod. They made those pods, you know.
That's true. They did make those pods.
Yep.
Zeb says, or Rudy says, Zeb arrived in the mail. Also scored TVC 1.0 Return of the Jedi R2, Sand Trooper, and Wolf off eBay.
Zeb's figure of the year. 100%.
Think so?
Figure of the year. Yeah.
So good.
He's so good.
I haven't opened him yet.
Man.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a running change on the Zebs. The original one I got from Big Bad Toy Store has slightly different paint applications on the head, whereas this one that I got recently won't really focus.
Really?
Where'd I get this one? Pulse. It has sharper lines on the paint apps on his forehead. And the back is slightly different.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Good catch.
I believe the date stamp was only 10 days apart too, or something like that. Yeah.
I'll need to see which one I have. I'm actually not sure. Let's see. Mary says, I got Mandalorian Judge, Zeb, and NECA's trick-or-treater figure in the Ben Cooper with which costume? Very cool.
Nice.
Luke says, also an Ezra.
Nice.
Brent, I got my Mando Judge, really liking the color scheme, even if I'm a little tired of Mando figures. I agree with that. It is very colorful.
Mm-hmm.
Bob says, Rings of Death infected layaway from Entertainment Earth and Night Troopers pack. Radis for Dead, how's it going? 3 Night Trooper stats, 6 clone 4 packs, 6 A New Hope Troopers, Deluxe Zeb, and A New Hope Leia. Radis for Dead, is it safe to say you like Troopers?
Nice.
Yeah. It's funny, my Alexa keeps reminding me to buy more clone troopers. It's hilarious. She's like,
Really?
it's time to buy more clone troopers. I was like, really? I don't
It
know.
is.
I don't know. Maybe I will.
You must listen to her.
Yeah. Right?
Let's see. Charlie says, I picked up OB1, Perch Trooper, Tika 3-pack this morning. Cool. Tony says, my Walmart had a small end cap display with the new TVC Vader, X-Wing Luke, and Stormtrooper. Was overwhelmed by nostalgia. Had to get Vader and Luke. Very nice. I'm glad that you were able to find that at your Walmart.
Yeah, that's lucky.
Bree West says, woof, $3.99 at Ross. Not bad.
Whoa.
That's
Yeah,
a good deal.
I think that's everybody. So yeah, new acquisitions all around. It sounds like we've added some fun stuff to our collections.
Yep.
Pretty recently. So cool, you guys. Well, we're at 2 hours and 21 minutes. I really didn't think this was going to go this long, but hey, it's been fun, and time flies when you're having fun. So thank you all for joining. As far as next week, I just want to remind everyone that tomorrow, we'll start with tomorrow. There is a live stream. It'll be my third one this week. I'm still going. I'm still excited about this HasLab. So we're going to continue the Cantina Social Hour HasLab streaming tomorrow with Chris Swansky from banthaschool.com, Jason, Middle Age Cuban Man collecting Star Wars figures, and Tim from Bossk's Bounty tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope that you guys will join us. We're going to do a post-mortem on the HasLab, kind of break that down, talk about what worked, what didn't, and just kind of do a recap on the whole thing and what we anticipate for the future. So please tune in for that. Of course, we will be back next Friday as well for Cantina Social Hour next Friday, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific. Thank all of you for tuning in today, this evening, and let's just go through real quick to you guys so you can tell us where to look you up on the interwebs. So Chad, where can we find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Peak OB1 Custom Figures, or you can find me on Facebook at Peak OB1 Custom Creations. Yes.
Awesome. Susan, where can we find you online?
Oh, you can find me on my Instagram at Dr. Seuss11. And if you like cats and Star Wars, that's me.
Awesome.
Nice. And Toys Are the Way.
You can find me on YouTube at Toys of the Way, Instagram, and a little bit of Twitter. Toys of the Way.
Awesome. And I have links to all of you guys, to your YouTubes, to your socials down in the description. So audience, please show them some love. Go ahead and hit them up. Follow them on their respective pages. And to anybody that's been tuning in, everybody that's hanging out with us here in the chat, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate you, as always. No matter where you're tuning in from out in the galaxy, whatever dimension you're joining us from, we appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping it positive. And thanks to Adam, our bouncer, who's hanging out and making sure everything's been very smooth, and it has been. We appreciate everybody. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching Cantina Social Hour. We will see you next week and tomorrow. Be well, be safe, may the force be with you, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.